भाई हम आ गए भाई फाइनली अपने लाइव के लिए। भाई आज हम करेंगे लाइव अपना गेंशिन इम्पैक्ट का 5.1 का शुरुआत करेंगे हम। मुझे पता है मैंने चालू नहीं कर रखी और मैंने ओरियन ले लिया है अपना कैरेक्टर। अब हम लेंगे दूसरा कैरेक्टर। वो लेने में हमें टाइम लगेगा क्योंकि मेरे पास अभी प्रीमो जेम्स भी नहीं है। गरीब आदमी, समझो यार थोड़ा। अपने पास प्रीमो जेम्स भी नहीं है, होते तो बढ़िया होता। मैंने मेरे प्रीमो जेम्स खत्म हो गए गाइस। मैं बहुत गरीब हो गया हूँ इससे। मैं अभी इस गेम में गरीब, वैसे भी गरीबी है, अमीर भी नहीं है।
Having a favorite animal or vegetable
भाई
or fruit
देखते हैं
can
भाई, हम
help us
फटाफट
recognize
चलते
what
हैं।
kind of people we want to become.
हमें स्टार्ट करना है अपना। चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं। वैसे भी देख लो भाई, तुम लोग आ रहे हो तो आ जाओ, मैं वेट कर रहा हूँ। और मैं तुम्हें दिखा दूँ मेरे प्रीमो जेम्स की बिल्कुल ही मतलब है ही नहीं। 241 प्रीमो जेम्स पड़े हैं भाई मेरे पास। इस आईडी में 241 प्रीमो जेम्स ही पड़े हैं भाई। गरीब हूँ मैं गरीब हूँ। तो वही है सीन है। तो मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि आज 5.1 कंप्लीट करें। लंबी लाइव स्ट्रीम होएगी, मतलब 3-4 घंटे की भी हो सकती है, 3 घंटे की भी हो सकती है। तो जो भी हो तुम देख लो भाई। मैं तो बहुत ही एक्साइटेड हूँ। मेरे को अभी 5.2 चालू हो चुका है और मैंने अभी तक 5.1 को भी देखा नहीं, क्योंकि मैं इंतज़ार कर रहा था। मैं फटाफट अभी यही करूँगा, चालू कर लूँगा बाद में। तो उसके हिसाब से ही है सीन है। तो भाई जो भी है ठीक है, जैसा है हम चलते हैं। और मैं बैटल फील्ड भी देखेंगे, मतलब ऐसे अब थोड़े बहुत ऑनलाइन गेम खेलेंगे हम। तो अभी तो मैं गेंशिन ही खेल रहा हूँ। और ये मेरी आईडी वो वाली है, दूसरी है थोड़ी, वो वाली नहीं जिससे मैंने वो पूरी 5 वो कंप्लीट किया था। वो 5.0 भी ठीक से शायद पूरा नहीं हुआ मेरा, मैं अटक गया था बीच में यार। मेरे पास बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं यार करने के लिए। तो भाई हम फटाफट निकलते हैं यहाँ से, है ना। तो मैं फटाफट एक ये ले लूँ यहाँ से। एक और चीज़ तो रही थी उधर। मैं ओरॉन को ठीक ही समझ रहा हूँ, एक ठीक कैरेक्टर ही है उसका, मतलब ठीक है। जास्का को ले सकते हैं हम लोग, मेरे पास इमरजेंसी में, जैसे मैंने तुम्हें बताया। इस आईडी में नहीं, दूसरी आईडी में तो है, तो वो हम कर लेंगे, वो हम देख लेंगे। तो पहले तो हम यहाँ चलें, अपना ये आर्चन टेस्ट करें। कहाँ पे है, यहाँ पे चलना है अपने को। बराबर टेलीपोर्ट मारो। और मैं PS5 पे खेल रहा हूँ, क्योंकि फ़ोन पे तो तुम देख ही सकते हो, फ़ोन पे खेलते रहते हम। तो PS5 पे खेलने में ज़्यादा अलग ही मज़ा है, स्वाद है। तो हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं।
We're back! We found Kachina's ancient name, too!
Well, it's fairly complicated. Let me give you the condensed version.
You learn of the Pyro Archon
The
battle
Fatui
against.
again? We can't go anywhere without them causing trouble. But what if the Fatui finds out you've lost your power? Won't they try to take advantage of the situation?
That's why it has to be our little secret. No one else can know, or we're asking for trouble. Look, I wish I could offer you some sort of consolation, but I won't lie to you. With multiple factions closing in, there's nothing comforting about the situation we're facing. Still, all you need to do is focus on your goal. You can leave the complicated matters to me.
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf. There's a limit to what I can accomplish, but I'll help you however I can.
There's no need to be so modest, Yan-san. Your incredible strength has long been a well-known fact. You're the pride of your tribe.
Archon, I'm sorry about before. You have so much on your plate, so much that you have to worry about. But all I could do was focus on my own feelings.
You have nothing to be sorry about. We all get overwhelmed by our emotions, myself included. Your reaction to Kachina's disappearance, I understand that feeling very well. Well, now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her down. Follow me.
तो भाई मैं पे 1 मिनट थंबनेल डाल लूँ, ये भी कर रहा हूँ, थंबनेल भी डाल ही दूंगा बाद में, इस लोगों को पता चल जाए। और ये हम पहुंच गए हैं।
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all the various mementos I've collected.
Whoa. I've never seen this place before. There's so many things in here.
It looks like there are items from every tribe. Collecting them must have taken a lot of effort.
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, everyone grows up listening to the stories of heroes. And physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories than our own memory. Now, I still have some preparations to make for the ceremony, so feel free to take a look around in the meantime. If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
All right, we'll have a look.
बढ़िया बढ़िया, तो हम यहाँ पे चलते देखते। मैं स्टोरी आगे बढ़ा सकता हूँ, मैं ये देख, क्योंकि ये वाला जो पार्ट है ना, ये वाला जो पार्ट है, ये मैंने शायद आधा खेल लिया था, उस समय खेल लिया था, तो मेरे को पता है ये सब अपनी आर्टिफैक्ट्स जो भी दिख रहे हैं, अब इनको हम देखेंगे तो ऑब्जर्व करेंगे। तो
Atea's talisman.
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea was rarely ever without it. The talisman brought her a lot of luck in battle.
This fishing basket looks familiar.
Hey, there's a fishing rod here. It must have belonged to the people of the springs.
That's right. It belongs to a legendary fisherman named Matavaru. I have his entire set of fishing equipment, actually. He and I met in a tavern. He told me about a particular kind of giant fish and his meticulous plan to catch it. In his eyes, I saw a hunger and a strong fighting spirit. To him, the sea was the battlefield upon which he staked his honor.
So, did he do it?
The next time I saw him, he was covered in scars. It turned out the fish he sought had been corroded by the abyss. He managed to kill the fish, but sustained a serious injury in the process, which meant he could never go deep-sea fishing again. Can a fisherman claim victory if he fails to bring back his catch? That's what he asked me in the end.
Well, Paimon thinks he won.
That was my answer as well. The experience was far more valuable than the prize itself. In the end, he didn't want his tools to go to waste, so he gave them to me.
Wait, that means you also know how to fish.
Maybe we can go head-to-head sometime.
Make sure to handle everything with care. This cup, for example, it's heavier than it looks.
क्या बात।
Make sure to handle everything.
मेरे पता है ये गेंशिन में एक दिक्कत हो रही है कि मेरा ये मतलब ये जो भी है ना, क्या बोलते हैं, ये कंट्रोलर बटन नीचे वाला R वाला, R3 वाला, L3 वाला, वो बहुत दिक्कत दे रहा है, जिससे मेरा कैरेक्टर एक जगह पे खड़ा ही नहीं हो पा रहा। देखो ये जैसे मैंने छोड़ रखा है अभी कंट्रोलर, बीच पे जरा सा मैं टच करता हूँ ना तो हिलने लग जाती है मेरी कैरेक्टर ऐसे। ये दिक्कत हो रही है बस गेंशिन में हो रही है, बाकी गेम में सब सही है। पता नहीं क्यों ये तो इतना सेंसिटिव भी नहीं है भाई।
Whoa, that belt is bigger than Paimon's head!
The Collective of Plenty are known for their bodybuilding competitions and contests of strength. This belt is a symbol of great honor within the tribe. The association with strength might also have been the reason the original belt was extremely heavy. It was difficult for even 2 people to lift. And even if a warrior had the strength to put it on, wearing it for any length of time would still leave them gasping for breath.
Sounds like it.
So the owner of the original belt, Kitera, commissioned a craftsman to make a copy identical in appearance but far lighter in weight. That is the belt you see before you. He would often wear
weightlifting
this
competition
version
हो
when
रहा होता।
training in order to protect his waist.
Or he made a lighter version so he could wear it all the time and show it off.
चलो भाई हम फटाफट इधर चलते हैं, देख लिया भाई।
The powder still needs some time to settle, so let's wait a little longer. Well, what do you think of my collection? Do you
अच्छी।
feel like you have a better understanding of Natlan's culture now?
Yeah, if each item represents a different story, seems like Natlan's really been through a lot. Does every item hold a special memory, just like Atea's talisman?
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient names passed down among the tribes. They demonstrate the true shape of time.
The shape of time?
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. We cannot change the past or predict the future. But there's also a different theory, one that I believe to be closer to the truth. Namely, that the past, present, and future all exist at once.
At once? Paimon's not sure she understands.
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each nation, which one would you say was the most important?
सारे ही हैं इम्पोर्टेंट तो, क्योंकि स्टोरी ऐसे बढ़ती है, ऐसी कैरेक्टर डेवलपमेंट होता है तो सारी ही है, सारी की सारी।
Exactly. Even at the end of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't cease to exist. They become part of who you are. Take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions, and eventually arrive at a very different destination. The future is the same way. It exists even though it has yet to come to pass. We just lack the means to perceive it. Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply call it by a different name. Fate. You're quite familiar with that concept, I would imagine.
That does kinda make sense. The future hasn't happened, but already exists.
Humanity excels at living in the present, but too often we forget the past and neglect the future. While the pilgrimage and the Night Warden Wars lead us to a better future. Only by uniting the people of Natlan across countless eras can we fight back against an enemy as formidable as the Abyss. To come up with such a set of rules, the first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight I can only imagine.
क्या बात है, मतलब बढ़िया
That's
भाई।
correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the divine throne, he used it to borrow power from the heavens and establish the rules of Natlan. Namely, a framework through which ordinary people can ascend to Archonhood. By holding the pilgrimage, we're able to determine the strongest among us. And when that person ascends to the divine throne, their inner flame will awaken. In addition, the sacred flame will grant them significant knowledge and memory of this land. After all, that's how I came to know everything I just told you.
So, it all comes down to the power of the divine throne and the rules. Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes. That's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little saurians we raised.
क्या
I
बात
turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint our likeness.
Your sister is so cute! It looks like the two of you are really close. Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary person, but seeing this portrait, it kind of makes sense now. It really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before. Oh, wait, is Paimon allowed to say that?
A little late for that question, don't you think?
Sorry! Paimon's so sorry! Paimon's mouth works faster than her brain sometimes.
सही बात बहुत बोलती है
It's all right. I'd never get upset over something like that. No matter what others may say, my past is a precious part of my identity. I'm forever proud of the life I used to lead. Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just comes with a lot of responsibilities, so it impacts how often you get to see them. My father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and we would sit on a blanket and eat it together. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and the saurians we were raising ran into the room and knocked over the entire pot. My sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers were going for the meat, but when they saw my sister's distress, they froze on the spot. I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess. It was frustrating, but in the end, all I could do was comfort my sister and move on.
Wow.
क्या बात forgive them just like that कभी कोई आए मेरे घर पे ऐसे करने और उनके पेट्स भी अचानक पेट्स लेके आए और अचानक कूदने काटने लग जाए मेरे कमरे में इधर उधर गुस्सा तो आएगा और क्या ही करें कुछ कह भी नहीं सकते ठीक है कर देने माफ कर देते हैं
Isn't that what
सही है
being a
भाई
family is all about?
सही बात
I think about that story a lot, actually. As the Archon, I made a vow to defend this nation, and experiences like that, they remind me exactly what I'm trying to protect.
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty old. Your sister must be all grown up by now, right?
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist. She built many houses and crafted many beautiful works of art. Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, we can begin. Ian-san, Mulani, Chaska, over here, please. Place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin.
पिछले वीडियो में हमने यही किया ये देखो ये मेरा कैरेक्टर अपने आप चलने लग जाता है क्योंकि इसका पता नहीं ये वाला बटन क्या हो गया बटन को समझ ही नहीं आ रहा बिल्कुल ही ये अपने आप उधर जा रहा है बावड़ा तो पिछले वाले वीडियो में हमने किचिना का एशियन नेम रिट्रीव किया था
Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, so too shall our stories remain eternal. Ancient name, take us to your fated bearer. Allow her to answer our call.
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina, are you okay?
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I? Is the Abyss playing tricks on me again?
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to find a way to bring you back.
Everyone, you have to listen to me.
बोलो
I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. The Wyup is being affected by the Abyss. I was waiting for the Wyup to send me back, but then this really strong monster came in and almost killed me. The Wyup saved me, even though its power is weakening, so I've been hiding from the monsters while trying to find a way to help. The Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though. I keep hearing
Listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be there shortly.
सही बात है, बचाओ
It's
भाई.
okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk to you guys. You don't need to worry about me. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. Just knowing you care is more than enough.
अरे अपने आप को बहुत अंडर एस्टिमेट करती है अरे.
I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come rescue me.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. We're coming for you, and that's final. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. Nobody here sees you as a burden.
सही बात.
You're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is wait for us to rescue you, and you'll get all the applause and recognition you deserve.
अरे
I'm really scared. Everything's so dark and creepy here. And I want to go home. Still, I don't want you to put yourselves in danger because of me. I don't want to hold anyone back ever again.
All you need to do is place your trust in us, just like you always have. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind. Not ever.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't call it quits now.
Be careful.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. You have to traverse the Night Kingdom in your physical form. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief amount of time inside could expose you to corrosion.
I know. I'm prepared for that possibility.
All right, then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with abyssal corruption. That face you just made. Don't tell me you two got into another argument.
No, I just feel bad for creating more work for her.
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people, the stronger the party.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone. It really means a lot that you're willing to brave these dangers with me. And there's no time to lose, so let's get going.
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation from here. Eon-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation you can't handle...
That won't happen.
I hope not.
लव है. तो मैं मिलना एक बार इससे बोल.
Be careful out there. I'll observe the situation from here.
ठीक है चलो. तो बेसिकली हमें करना है ये कैरेक्टर. मेरे को एक बटन दिखाना पड़ेगा, मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है. यहाँ चलना अपने को. ये देखो ये. अरे रुक जा भाई, एक जगह रुक जा. बटन रुकता नहीं है एक बार में. तो ये बटन पता नहीं गेंशिन के साथ ही है. और हाँ मैं तुम्हें बताऊं, अभी वेदरिंग वेव्स भी आएगा 2 जनवरी से. 2 जनवरी, हाँ 2 जनवरी से ही है शायद. 2 जनवरी दिसंबर है जो भी है. तो वहाँ से खेलेंगे भाई, वेदरिंग वेव्स भी खेलेंगे हम इसमें. वेदरिंग वेव्स में भी ये नाटक करता है तो फिर दिक्कत है. मेरी ओरिजिनल टीम यही रखूंगा मैं. फायर एलिमेंट है इसमें, चाहिए ना फायर. छोड़ो यार, स्टार्ट करते हैं। कोई जरूरत नहीं, यही टीम बढ़िया है अभी। मेरे को पता है मेरी टीम कुछ ऐसी ही है, खास अच्छी खासी नहीं है, तो कुछ जो भी है ठीक है। चल सकता है काम, तो अपने को कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। चलो भाई।
So we're underneath Natland right now? It looks nothing like Paimon was imagining.
That's because in the distant past, Natlan was home to an incredibly advanced civilization ruled by dragons. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the dragons.
So these are Saurian ruins? Wait, you mean like the elemental sovereigns? They had their own advanced civilization?
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived until now, so no one really knows what the devices here are for. These ruins have been abandoned for a long time, but with the recent increase in Abyss activity, the installations around here have somehow been activated again.
So what you're saying is, we're not in for an easy trip to the Night Kingdom.
No. It's going to be obstacle after obstacle from here on out.
चलो भाई।
Why are you all laughing like that? It's creeping Paimon out.
It's the pre-adventure excitement kicking in, right guys?
नई जगह।
Of course. I'm eager to get started.
Adventurers live for this moment like
Then
this.
let's go. We won't let anything stand in our way.
चलो भाई, नई जगह। प्ले स्टेशन में खेलने का अलग ही मजा है।
How should we get across?
तो इसकी चिंता मत करो, ऐसे जाएंगे अपन।
As a professional trainer, I think you could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Professional trainer? Paimon thought you were a warrior from the Collective of Planning.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide professional guidance for many of Natland's popular sports. And I don't just mean physical training. I design nutrition plans as well.
Ah, so basically no... Those guys look familiar.
We've fought them before. Let's go. Show no mercy.
चलो।
Stop that! Let the world collide!
Tell me what you see. Not too far now.
मतलब ठीक है, मतलब गेम प्ले में यहाँ पे, मतलब प्ले स्टेशन में खेलने में, मतलब कंसोल में खेलने में ठीक है। अरे बस ये बटनों का जो रोना है ना, ये समझ नहीं आता मेरे को एक बार में। चलो भाई, ये जो ये जा रहा है ना, ये राइट में बार बार।
The place we need to go seems really high up.
ये जो बार बार राइट में जा रहा है ना, ये मेरा ये बटन मूवमेंट वाला, वो मेरे को दिक्कत देगा भाई।
Watch the surfboard!
Settle down. Bow your head.
ये बड़ी दिक्कत देता है ये देखो।
Let the mighty be humbled. Settle down.
इधर चेस्ट वेस्ट नहीं क्या इधर वाले में? कोई बात नहीं, मेरी टीम की हेल्थ थोड़ी कम है, पर कोई बात नहीं, चल जाएगा, इतना इतने भी नहीं है वैसे।
An oversight on my part.
अरे 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 अरे, पीठ फाट रहा है भाई। भागो 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 भागो, सॉरी सॉरी सॉरी। चल 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 निकल, चल, मजाक कर रहा था मैं तो, चल निकल। जाओ रे तेरी, चल निकल। बड़ा आइटम, बड़ा आइटम, बड़ा आइटम। भागो भागो भागो, सॉरी सॉरी सॉरी। अरे भागो भागो, पीट दिया इसने तो। अरे भागो 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 भागो, सॉरी सर। चलो हील तो हो ही गया मैं। अरे 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 अरे, चैन ही नहीं भाई साहब को। चलो निकलो। हाँ नहीं तो आया बड़ा, मारेगा। चलो
This is the final stretch. We just need to climb up, and we'll be there. Nothing to it.
Easy for you to say.
गलती से भाई मेरा थोड़ा फोकस इधर उधर हो गया था, मैं सीनरी एडमायर करने के चक्कर में गिर गया गाइस। चलता है इतना, मैं थोड़ा सीनरी एडमायर करने की कोशिश कर रहा था, इन्होंने बोला नहीं ज्यादा मत देखे, निकल जा, तो भाई उसके चक्कर में हम गिर गए। अरे भाई कितना ऊपर है भाई, सालों लग गए भाई। आगे चलो भाई।
This must be the entrance the Pyro Archon told us about. The one ripped open by the abyss.
Yes. There's something in the depths of this place that feels familiar, yet also foreign.
We actually have to go in there? Okay, Paimon just needs to psych herself up. Don't push her through before she's ready.
चलो भाई, एक तो चांदनी हो जाती है ना वाइट वाइट एकदम, ये तो अच्छा है, फटाफट लोड हो जाता है।
Hey, you don't have to drag Paimon. You're pulling too hard.
हमने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं। हम फाइनली पहुंच गए भाई।
Made it. This is the Night Kingdom.
वाओ, कितना पर्पल पर्पल, कितना अच्छा लग रहा है।
Different from what I imagined in the stories.
The abyssal energy is everywhere.
That overflow of energy is probably what trapped Kachina here in the first place.
From this point forward, everything we know about the real world no longer applies. Anything can happen here.
Paimon's more worried about how we're gonna make it out. We obviously can't go back the way we came.
Do you see that patch of light on the ground? It's shining down from that fissure in the sky.
Oh yeah, right in front of us. So that's coming from up there? Oh, it's so high up. Did we really fall that far down?
Just like I said, our real-world knowledge doesn't apply here. We fell all this way, yet came out completely unscathed. If this was the real world, we'd have to climb our way back up to the entrance. But here, all we have to do is stand underneath the light and offer a prayer.
That's it?
Don't try it now. Don't try to run away. दोनों ही ऐसा है. सही है. Don't try to run away.
You really think that little of Paimon? That's not even why Paimon asked.
So that means all we need to do is find Kachina and bring her to this location.
Exactly. This light is streaming in from the real world. It's a link between the two realms.
The terrain looks difficult to navigate, and the visibility's not great either. How are we supposed to find Kachina in these conditions?
Yeah, these floating black things don't look super friendly either.
Those are all manifestations of abyssal power. Be careful.
कोई आया.
Ghost! A talking ghost!
Calm down, I'm here to help. You're the ones who helped Vichama, right?
विचामा वही है जिसने हमारी मदद करी थी कचीना का एंशिएंट नेम को रिट्रीव करने में. तो उसका दोस्त है ये.
Yes, I'm Vichama's friend, Malco.
Malco.
I was completely lost to this realm until I sensed a mysterious power calling out to me. It's like it was seeking me out, attempting to reassemble the pieces of who I used to be. Of course, it could only do so much. I'm sorry I can only appear before you in this imperfect form.
No, we should be the ones apologizing. If the Spirit Speaker Stone hadn't become corrupted by the Abyss, we could have done much more. But we had to destroy it.
अपना वही डिवाइस
Otherwise,
जिससे हमने
Vichama and his tribe
कर
would
लिया
have been
था
in
नाम.
danger.
तुम पिछला एपिसोड देखो, पता चलेगा.
Thank you for protecting him. I never imagined that, even after all these years, he'd still take such a risk for me.
दोस्ती.
Under the power of the stone, it felt like our souls were connected. Turns out even our regrets were exactly the same.
Whether in triumph or death, you want your best friend by your side.
Exactly. That may not be in the cards for us, but it's not too late for you. You're looking for a young girl from the Children of Echoes, right? She's being chased by an embodiment of abyssal power. I'd like to help her while I'm still in this form, so follow me. Be careful. This place has been severely corroded by the abyss.
Paimon didn't realize it had gotten this bad.
It's like a seething volcano ready to engulf our world at any moment.
भाई कितना अच्छा लग रहा है भाई. और. अरे हम तुम्हारे पास ही थे, तुमने अपनी शील्ड नहीं लगाई.
My power will be able to ward off attacks for the time being.
बस कितना अच्छा लग रहा है ये नजारा. अलग ही है पर अच्छा लग रहा है.
Let's try another route. This way.
आई जा रहे हैं पागल की तरफ. शर्म ही नहीं है बिल्कुल. अरे बस भाई. अरे बस भाई, शर्म ही नहीं है. अलग ही स्पूकी जगह भाई.
Not good. More monsters.
We shouldn't waste our time on them.
अरे पीट दिया. कोने में लेकर धर दो सब में. भर दो सब में. भर दिया. चलो. ये लो भाई. सही बताओ कितनी अच्छी लग रही है ये गेम. प्ले स्टेशन में अलग ही मजा है भाई. कंसोल में खेलने का अलग मजा है. मेरे को सब दिख रहा है. वो अरे भूत प्रेत जग गए सारे के सारे। क्या हो गया भाई, क्या हो गया? हेलो।
Did you hear that?
What?
Never mind. It was probably just my imagination.
Don't scare Paimon like that!
I heard it too. It was a voice from the abyss.
What did it say?
ने कितनी डर जाती है पाइमन
It
इतनी
doesn't
जल्दी?
matter. It certainly doesn't harbor good intentions.
चलो भाई। अरे journey lies within me.
Paimon just heard it too! Let's
चलो
keep
चलो
going. Paimon wants to get out of this place!
चलो आगे भाई, पहुंच गए हम। कि चीना को बेचारा परेशान कर बुली कर रहे हैं ये लोग। अभी रुको, अभी आ रहा हूँ, पीटता हूँ। बच्चों को बुली करते हैं। अरे भूत प्रेत जग गए बच्चों के पीछे यार। रुको मैं अभी आ रहा हूँ, रुको धर लूंगा। रुको रुको।
We're here, Kachina! Honey? You made it! Looks like our reunion will have to wait until we take care of these monsters. Good idea. Let's go!
भर दो सब लोग भर दो। इसका यही बढ़िया अटैक लगता है मेरे को।
You're here! You're finally here! Thank you so much! That monster can appear from anywhere. It almost caught me a bunch of times. The Y-Up's power helped keep me hidden, so I just tried to stay out of sight until you got here.
अरे डरी
Atta
हुई है।
girl. You did so well. And most importantly, you weren't hurt.
Should we start heading back then?
Actually, I have a request. Will you come visit the Y-Up with me? I can't exactly put it into words, but something's wrong with the Ode of Resurrection. And I know it has something to do with the contamination from the Abyss.
चलो
That was
भाई।
the Pyro Archon's theory as well. Everything we've seen here certainly seems to back it up.
In the Night Kingdom, there are 6 main totem poles representing the Wyab of each tribe. You can think of them like the body of each Wyab. Additional totem poles, like the ones around here, serve as proxies to which the Wyab can extend their consciousness. There are countless proxies scattered around the Night Kingdom. Through them, the Wyab can extend their consciousness over the entire realm and track down souls no matter where they roam. But if a proxy were to become severely contaminated, then a soul could become lost within the Night Kingdom.
Judging by the current situation, I don't think we're dealing with just one contaminated proxy. Even if we could drive back the abyssal power from one of them, that probably wouldn't even put a dent in the problem.
Still, we can't just leave the Y-Up to suffer. It's protected me this whole time.
Saving one is better than saving none at all.
I
सही
agree.
बात है।
We might even manage to draw out the monster.
भले
that's
एक ही
behind
बच्चे बच्चे तो
Kachina.
सही।
Getting rid of the monster might slow down the deterioration of the Night Kingdom.
क्या हो गया?
Kachina? What's wrong? Nothing. Just a headache. And that voice again, telling me to abandon the Y-Up and leave this place.
Maybe we really should leave. Kachina's already been here for too long.
No, I'm fine. I don't plan on listening to that nonsense. I can hold on.
चलो भाई बचाओ टोटम कहाँ भाई
Just up ahead. I'll lead the way. Besides, I can still fight, so please, help me out a little longer. Listen to me, Kachina. We'll come with you, but that's because we want to help the Y-Up. Not because we have something to prove. You don't have anything to prove either. It's okay if you reach your limit. We'll be there for you.
All right. The sooner we get this done, the better.
सही बात
We've
है
already come all this way, so we might as well try to get to the bottom of this.
Let's go. This way.
I'll stay here and try to stall the Abyss monster.
All by yourself? That's too dangerous.
It's all right. I may not be as strong as that monster, but I'm definitely more familiar with the area. Besides, I don't have much time left. If you're anything like my friend, I'm sure you're not particularly fond of goodbyes. So go. Achieve your goal. And return to the world where you belong.
Thank you for everything.
You're a true hero.
Thank you. No one fights alone.
चलो भाई ये इनका मोटिव नो वन फाइट्स अलोन रीयूनियन अचीवमेंट
Does your head still hurt? Let me help you walk. I'm fine. I'm fine. You
Wait.
should know I'm made of stronger stuff than that.
बड़ा स्पूकी एरिया भाई ये देखो है भाई ऐसा लग रहा है जीव निकल रहे क्या क्या हो रहा भाई हो रहा भाई चलो कितना कितना अच्छा बैकग्राउंड लग सकता है ये कितना अच्छा बैकग्राउंड लग रहा है ठीक है भाई चलें अब भाई मेरे तो कैरेक्टर की हेल्थ ही नहीं है भाई कोई भी कैरेक्टर की हेल्थ नहीं है ऐसे ही आ गया बस लड़ने
Y-Up? Y-Up! I'm back! My friends and I are here to heal you. Y-Up? Can you hear me? Y-Up? So we were right. The contamination is already too severe. It's preventing the Y-Up from answering our calls. Alright, get ready everyone. Time to purge the abyssal energy from this place.
सही बात है चलो I will help too
Careful. We've got company.
अरे boss fight
You really think that puny soul could slow me down? Courage in the face of futility is pure folly.
कौन है ये कार्टून
He tried to get in my way, so I disposed of him.
ले
You killed Malcolm?
He would have dispersed with or without me. Rather than worrying about him, I would urge you to focus on yourself. You may have defeated others of my kind in the past, but underestimate me now, and it will be to your peril. No, the power of the Abyss is intoxicating. The destruction it seeks captivates like a masterful work of art. I strive only for the opportunity to see it up close. I thought this naive little girl was an exception, but it turns out humanity is full of lambs willing to offer themselves up to the slaughter. That is the tragedy of your short lives. You understand nothing of all-encompassing power. Ancient names, pride, friendship, all empty ideas invented to give you a false sense of self-worth. They possess no power at all. The Pyro Archon created those grandiose ideals out of pure selfishness. Anything to avoid sharing power. Anything to avoid handing over the primordial gift to ordinary people like you. Don't believe me? Then ask yourself, why is the Pyro Archon strong beyond measure, while you, Kachina, remain so pathetically weak?
Kachina,
अरे
give me your hand. Feel that? I'm right here next to you. Thanks, Moalani. You're right.
I have nothing to fear. Because I'm not alone anymore.
हाँ निकल गई
You're
हाँ
right. Maybe comforting ideals don't have any power. But you also couldn't be more wrong. You've never had to work for your own strength, so you will never understand the true source of our power.
What?
The courage we have to
Emotions.
stand before you and not back down, it comes from our friendship. The power lies not in the ideal itself, but in our commitment to upholding that ideal, and in our decision to stand together and fight.
Well said.
Willpower.
Let's
Emotions.
go, Katina.
Boost मिलता
It
बहुत
shouldn't
भाई.
take more than 2 of us to handle an enemy like this.
चलो पी लो
Sorry
इन्हें.
in advance, but you...
Sorry.
You deserve what's coming to you.
अरे बहुत अच्छी दिल की प्यारी बच्ची भाई. बच्चे
There
प्यारे
aren't
होते हैं.
many in Natlan who can beat us when we're
पर कुछ
together.
कुछ
It's
ऐसे ही
time
होते.
he got a taste of that kind of power.
एकदम बिल्कुल ही क्या ही बोले मतलब. Brats. बिल्कुल ही. चल रहा है चल 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 निकल चल 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 निकल.
Check this out. Best of luck.
Coming!
तेरी ऐसे ही धन गया.
Carving waves. Let's ride. Strike a pose.
ऐसे ही मर गए तो.
We won. We actually won.
Nice job. 10 out of the way stronger than 40%. He wasn't that any strong.
That's what he gets for
नहीं नहीं वो सही.
underestimating you two.
Fantastic work, Katina. Absolutely fantastic. This makes me so unbelievably happy.
I'm happy too, Mualani. Together we really are unstoppable.
Huh? What's happening?
Asian name.
My ancient name is glowing? But I thought I didn't bring it with me.
It's probably a projection from the real world. But that doesn't explain why it's glowing all of a sudden.
Wait, does that mean you're...
That was a bold move. Diving headfirst into the fire to save your friend. Especially in a place so overrun with abyssal corruption.
आप कौन भाई साहब?
Still, seeing you pull it off was really something. Everything you said was exactly right. As isolated individuals, we stand no chance against the power of the Abyss. It took years' worth of scars, and lots of unnecessary suffering, for me to understand that for myself. The Pyro Archon's plan will unite us as one. Everyone has a part to play. Only then will we have the power to defeat the strongest of foes.
Who are you?
Tupac. A
Tupac.
warrior from the people of the Springs. I fought against the Abyss during the invasion 500 years ago.
I've heard that name before. You were the giant who saved all of Natlan.
Since you were able to awaken my words from your ancient name, that means you have fully embodied the aspirations of the Wyab. Under the name Umoja,
Umoja.
you shall unite the tribes and save Natlan from its impending doom.
Me?
As long as blood still runs through your veins, even the tiniest spark of steel against stone can ignite a flame. Its blaze will become one with the gaze of all Natlan. Even amid everlasting darkness, our bonds remain eternal.
क्या बात है?
What's wrong, Mualani?
So many memories. My brain was just flooded with everything he once knew. So that's what happened.
What do you mean? Did you just figure something out?
500 years ago, they foresaw the very crisis we're facing now. Efforts to save Natlan started all the way back then.
We can go over the details once we get back. We shouldn't
Does
linger here
still-
longer than we have to.
Does that mean you already know about the whole thing?
I know bits and pieces, but I had no idea Mualani was also part of the plan.
This
Yeah.
sounds like something that's going to need a lot of explaining. Let's focus on saving the Wyatt first.
Hmm. पाइमोन कुछ कर ले, देख ही रही खड़ी खड़ी कर लेती कुछ.
Okay, that should be enough. Wyatt? Wyatt? Can you hear me?
I hear your voice, Kachina. My dear child.
Great. Well then, I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye. I just wanted to make sure you were okay before we leave, but we can't afford to stay here any longer. I was going to ask why you bestowed an ancient name upon someone like me, but it's okay. I'll keep searching within myself for the answer. I'll never stop trying to improve my strength. One day, I'll live up to the hero you saw in me.
You are already an outstanding child in my eyes, Kachina. No matter what happens.
Huh?
You are all my most beloved children. It has always been my honor to protect and nurture you. Your ancient name is just that, a name. Much like your parents chose to name you Kachina, I also gave you a name, but it need not define you. Focus on who you want to be. You are already worthy of your name. Now, you need only devote yourself to becoming a better you. The story of your ancient name is for you to continue. Just like your parents, my love for you will never change, no matter what the future holds.
क्या बात.
Thank you, Wyatt.
It gladdens me to see the Pyro Archon's plan move another step towards completion. But it's time for you to leave this place. The situation here is getting worse. Go now, my children. Save Natlan on behalf of all you hold dear.
I know we've never met before, Wyatt, but I just wanted to say thank you for encouraging Kachina. It was exactly what she needed to hear.
चलो भाई.
What's going on?
तबाही मच गई.
We're out of time.
It's the power of the abyss.
अरे भाई
Quick,
सुनामी.
we need to run.
अरे भाई साहब.
It's a
सीली क्या कर रही है
The
इधर?
Sealy opened the way for us.
सीली भागो.
Windblade.
अरे भाई भागो. मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? भागो 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 भागो. भागो. और भाई साहब सुनामी. रो 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 रो.
The opening in the sky. It's closing.
We need to hurry.
मैं कहाँ जा रहा
We'll
हूँ?
be stuck here.
स्टेमिना ही नहीं है भाई. मर गए स्टेमिना ही नहीं है. भागो भागो भागो.
Watch out for the falling rocks! Quick, through the middle! Come on, faster!
We'll never make it.
टीम वर्क भाई. ओ ड्रिल से ही तो लगी। लॉल ओहो वाह भाई ये तो मेरे को वो वाला सीन है जुजुत्सु का डोमेन एक्सप्रेशन टूटेगा भाई भाई साहब ये तो वो वाला सीन है मतलब क्या बोलते हैं जब यूजी अपने वो डोमेन में घुस जाता है उसके जुजुत्सु काइसेन का मागा चौके वो वाला सीन हो गया भाई एकदम वो तोड़ के निकला मुक्का मार के एकदम बिल्कुल ही भाई सब
The Pyro Archon saved us.
But she's not here. Yeah, didn't she say she used it all up?
She's still in the speaker's chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom was just her consciousness.
So you're saying her consciousness did all that?
Every great display of power comes at a price.
You must feel terrible, Kachina. Just hold on. We'll get you to a doctor soon. Let's get back to the stadium. The Pyro Archon said she'd have a doctor waiting for us.
I recommend getting a full checkup, just to make sure no damage gets left behind.
Paimon feels okay. What about you, Traveler? Right.
हम दोनों एक
seem to
स्पेशल
do
है
pretty
बस
well against the abyss.
Let's get going. We need to share what we learned
पाइमन
in the
और हम
Night
दोनों
Kingdom
अलग ही
as well.
स्पेशल है भाई सबसे
Right.
क्योंकि मैं तो इस दुनिया का था भी नहीं इस गेम में
Something about the
और पाइमन तो पता नहीं कौन
Archon's plan. What is it exactly?
I'll let her explain everything. We're all a part of the plan now. Every move we make from here on out will decide Natlan's ultimate fate.
क्या मैं ही पहले कर लेता पर मेरी तो पहले हेल्थ ही नहीं है हेल्थ पे जाऊंगा मैं ये सब तो करता रहूंगा मैं हेल्थ पे चलो भाई पहले हेल्थ लो भाई कैरेक्टर की हेल्थ ही नहीं सारी कैरेक्टर मर रहे मेरे लो भाई हेल्थ बढ़ा दो अभी एक ग्लिच ठीक हो गया भाई मेरे कंट्रोलर का ठीक है मतलब थोड़ा टाइम लगता है सेट होने में कंट्रोलर को अरे भाई पहुंचाओ भाई टेलीपोर्ट चलो भाई अभी तो पूरा 5.1 ठीक से अब चालू होगा अभी तो चालू भी नहीं हुआ भाई 5. वही चल रहा है बहुत लंबा है अभी तो चालू भी नहीं हुआ भाई 5.1 अपना स्ट्रीम का मैंने लिख तो दिया 5.1 चालू भी नहीं है भाई चालू भी नहीं हुआ 5. वही खत्म नहीं हुआ
There's a lot less stuff here than before.
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the Abyss go untreated.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told me about your plan. Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you one by one.
करो भाई Despite the short silence in the Night Kingdom, Mulani that's a degree of visual contamination. थोड़ा थोड़ा ये हल्का हल्का ठीक है चलो कोई बात नहीं बट थैंक्स टू बहुत नाम बोला नहीं जा रहा एक्सक्लूसिव एक्सपीरियंस ट्रीटिंग अ विजुअल कंटेंट द इफेक्ट इज नॉट परमानेंट ठीक है भाई द ट्रीटमेंट आल्सो
All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I'll perform another checkup in a couple of days. I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the abyss.
She's always been special like that. She can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
We don't know why.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have patients to see, so I'll head out.
Thank you, Koichi.
Guichi.
All right, all right.
क्यों होना
We
चाहिए ना
might
यार,
not see
सी
eye
क्यों
to
लिखा
eye,
है?
but we both had good
चुइची लिखा
intentions.
होना है.
Just
चुइची
give it
बोलता मैं इसे.
time.
गुइची
I'm
की तरह.
sure we'll figure things out between us one day.
Yeah.
चलो बहनें मिल गई, बहनों का प्यार ठीक हो गया, ठीक है भाई. ये
All
बस
right.
प्यार ही करते थे एक दूसरे
There's
को.
so much to
ठीक से.
discuss, I don't even know where to begin.
बहनों का प्यार
You've
जैसा.
seen it for yourselves now. The devastation in the Night Kingdom. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Huh?
सीधी बात. On the point.
No. That can't be true, can it?
Yes, can
That's
and
right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated 500 years ago.
Mulan told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss. Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains as real as ever.
I'd never have guessed.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's ley lines. Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory, nor did they hold hope for the future. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wayab nearly severed. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss in the future. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save Natlan.
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of new memories. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it. But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it was you.
Huh? But that
क्या
doesn't make
बात
any
है?
sense. The Pyro Archon is supposed to
Reincarnation.
be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time, or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
This was
Yes.
also part of
We
plan.
only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old 500 years ago.
So that means
Yeah.
I'm one of the Chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wyatt were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the Sacred Flame and the Wyatt has been blocked.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but its methods certainly aren't easy to counter. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name-bearer must establish a greater connection to their name. So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shilonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wyatt, Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
2 left, bhai.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this? Wouldn't that make everything go a lot faster?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development.
But what if they don't make it in time?
I can only trust in the judgment of the Wyatt. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all. You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Huh? Oh, right! All of the stuff you stored here before, where did it all go?
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose. Fuel.
Fuel? So back then, that's why you...
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of Natlan. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited. But together, their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the 2 worlds. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you—
But aren't they all precious treasures? What about their story?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been forever lost to the Abyss. And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to contribute to Natlan's survival. If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. In that sense, we didn't lose anything at all. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once stored here.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime. Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden War. And we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and for all, Kachina.
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing, having a victory feast doesn't feel right.
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right. You should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
अभी तो भाई 5.0 ही खत्म नहीं हुआ भाई, कब होगा पता ही नहीं। मैं लिख तो दिया 5.1 पर बहुत कुछ हो गया भाई इसमें, छोटे से पार्ट में, 1 घंटे में। इसकी मेमोरीज में क्या, वाओ कितना अच्छा लग रहा है सन ऊपर, मेमोरी फ्रेग्रेंस सारे।
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all over Natland. They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot spring buddies together. It's been really nice seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of the springs. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. It's unbelievable how quickly they worm their way back into my good graces. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. I can see it. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
इसके ऊपर कितना लोड होगा अभी ये सोच रहा हूँ मैं। इतना मतलब इतनी सारी चीजें देखनी है, इतना सब करना है, पूरी प्लानिंग एग्जीक्यूट करनी है। एग्जीक्यूट इम्प्लीमेंट सब करना, मतलब बहुत बहुत दिमाग में बहुत कुछ चल रहा होगा इसके।
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning enemy, one that I faced in battle many times. Were that not the case, I would never understand exercising this degree of caution. My rage will never know absolution. Then my power will no longer aid you in victory. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just a single sentence. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory we are owed. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
क्या बात है भाई।
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again?
उसकी फैमिली है।
But what about the you from right now. You're just gonna die?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Oh, seriously though, Dad should be here. Where is he?
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Don't take it to heart, my dear. That's just who he is. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone.
ये सब पुराने हीरोज इसका मतलब शायद इसके भी रिलेटिव हो सकते.
The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means to love.
Who will be the one to bring this to an end?
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire. The lifeblood of our nation.
बहुत कुछ बहुत सारे डीप मीनिंग है, बहुत सारे डीप वही बहुत कुछ था भाई इस वाले में. तो 5.1 चालू कर सकता हूँ मैं, अभी करना ही पड़ेगा कि मैंने डाला थंबनेल में, तो करना तो पड़ेगा. थोड़ा बहुत कर लूँगा भले 1-1.5 घंटा का हो, क्योंकि बहुत लंबा है भाई ये. तो लाइव है वैसे भी, क्या ही कर सकते, इसलिए मैंने लाइव रखा. वीडियो बनाने में बहुत टाइम लगता. लाइव ही देख लो तुम लोग, देखना चाहो तो, जो भी देख रहा हो.
I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. I was about to leave, actually. It's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back. It's just... well, I'll make things awkward if I'm around my sister right now.
Ah, well, you two had a fight, so Paimon can understand.
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information about the Abyss.
That's good. That's all I needed to know.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now it's like you're holding something back.
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I did it for a reason. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes. I had no idea what you might face in the Night Kingdom, so I didn't want to take any chances.
So what you're saying is...
Desperately provoke her so she would pulse out on you. ठीक है भाई.
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little
Understandable.
stupid, but it works pretty
ठीक है.
well. It helps her keep her cool for a little while, at least. Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound. That's all I wanted.
But do you really have to go that far? Can't you just talk it out?
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. She can't learn about this, or it'll be even harder to help her. I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to help her ease this burden. Anyway, I need to get going. Enjoy the celebration. Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their arguing?
Trying to look for the other.
In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault. Paimon's had enough of them.
चलो. कहाँ हैं ये सारे?
Don't worry, I always win anyway.
कहाँ भाई कहाँ? क्या यहाँ? डांस स्किल्स तो अच्छे चीफ के पास.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Woohoo! Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad I finally made it.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great future ahead of you.
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team. I'll be dealing with you when we get back.
I had no choice. My friend invited me. I couldn't just say no.
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead in the first round?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild. So I stopped to bandage his wounds. When he insisted on repaying the favor, what was I supposed to do? I'm just one person. I figured Kachina would have no trouble replacing me.
But the fact of the matter is that after your departure, everyone else started thinking about swapping teams too.
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to abandon you like that.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to the Night Warden Wars. That's the highest honor.
So, what about you guys? Did you make it far?
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to the stadium on the day. We got disqualified.
सही हुआ.
Serves you all right. No sympathy from me.
मेरी तरफ से भी नहीं है भाई.
All right. There's no need to be like that, Uncle Pakal. Dear friends, I'd like to say a few words. Firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great Archon for helping to bring me back. This traveler and her companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. If they were allowed to participate in the pilgrimage, I have no doubt that they'd win the whole thing. They've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, I believe I can become even stronger still. And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Ayan-san. They all helped the Traveler and Paimon figure out a way to bring me back from the Night Kingdom. They too deserve to be called our heroes. So, please give another round of applause for them. Thank you so much.
Well said!
क्या बात?
I'll drink to that.
How does it feel being a hero, Kachina?
To be honest, it's a bit overwhelming. It all just feels so
Surreal. Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion!
That's the way I will also become the champion, coach.
Hey, please don't make fun of me.
चलो भाई सबसे बात करें. तू बता.
My apologies. I knew more than I let on. Everything comes at a price, and most heroes aren't people who set out to become a hero. If you cling too tightly to your goal, you end up losing things that are far more precious. But in any case, we're now on the same page. I wonder how long before the two final heroes appear. From the Flower Feather Clan and the Masters of the Night Wind.
वो तो पता चलेगा मेरे को बाद में. कौन है वो? क्या हो गया मुलानी इसको बेटी?
At previous victory feasts, you'd always find me in the crowd singing and dancing. But after what I found out today, it's too much. I'm still trying to process it.
It does feel weird seeing you so out of sorts.
Netlands fallen to set a stone to right. It's important to try and enjoy the moment like this. Okay.
Is this another pearl of wisdom based on your adventuring experience?
Well, Paimon agrees with the Traveler. Everyone's come together to celebrate Kachina's achievements. That's gotta be a first.
You're right. Kachina looks really happy. And now I'm being the moody one. Enough doom and gloom. Time to shake it off.
It's rare to meet travelers as strong and brave as yourselves. I raised my glass to you. Anyway, my sister's already gone back to our tribe. She has patients to treat.
Oh, we actually ran into her on the way here and, well, Paimon just thinks she really cares about you.
Yeah, I'm planning on visiting home myself in a few days. To tell her and the rest of the family that they need to be extra careful. I just hope they take it seriously. The Abyss has likely sensed your arrival in Natlan by now. So exercise caution on your adventures as well.
अभी तो 5.2 की बात है ना. 5.2 आ गया भाई. मैंने अभी तक 5.1 पूरा ठीक से नहीं किया भाई. वो भी करना है. वही करेंगे भाई. मैं तो सोच रहा हूँ शुरुआत करूँ. कर ही रहा हूँ. कोशिश ही कर रहा हूँ. लंबा चौड़ा भाई. Genshin
especially for you two.
How did you know? That's Paimon's favorite.
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away.
Isn't your plan is a little... Why did you get the part?
Because they had their own lives to live. The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time, for in 500 years Natlan will be destroyed, it seemed too cruel. You could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life is short. And beyond a point, it just doesn't seem real. Imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. It would sound quite ridiculous.
Say that.
I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. The plan could still work without them. Or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan, I felt duty-bound to see it through to the end.
Paimon's suddenly remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your family from back then?
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister grew up to be, the truth is that very little information survives. From what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree of confidence that she ended up as an architect and artist. She played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and building many houses. But of course, none of her buildings are around anymore. Still, it was an impressive achievement, and I'm very proud of her.
That's the life you had to live behind.
You feel lost keenly. It seems to stir up feelings of regret in you. But this is something I have long since come to terms with. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already far more fortunate than those who lost their lives to the Abyss. The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear. I must see our fate through to the very end, no matter what I may find there.
That's actually what I wanted to ask. If you're already aware of the fate.
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way everything ends has already been written, including your plan?
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms. The past, present, and future coexist, and all are equally important. Even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason to give up on the here and now. And it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate that we will never give up on our struggle. This is a pivotal moment. We are still 2 heroes short. Well, 3, to be precise. There's one further hero who I'm hoping to get on my side, whatever it takes.
Surely you don't mean, अरे हम तो main part है भाई, हम तो hero ही हैं, हम तो protagonist हैं, हमें तो जरूरी भाई main character.
Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. It would easily make you an all-important figure in the upcoming battle. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new ancient name for you.
Ancient names can be forged?
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then the number of them in circulation would have long dwindled to 0. Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. Your stories would be remembered by our people for all the years to come. The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still, take this as my personal guarantee that I shall never let you fall. Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This nation always honors its heroes.
You don't have to promise me anything. I just want to help out the people.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation here.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. She's the one who will forge the name. We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but I trust she'll find a way.
Oh, finally, bhai. Blackstone under the White Stone. Finally,
My
bhai.
lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize the Gnosis.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. You don't have much time, and you're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
बिल्कुल सर ये अलग ही कैरेक्टर है भाई इसका इंतजार कर रहे हैं सब लोग मैं भी कर रहा हूँ लेंगे देखते हैं अभी इनसे बात करते हैं फटाफट
Oh, something else you'd like to ask?
About the captain whereabouts.
Well, our intel suggests he hasn't made any new movements yet. Although Kenichi's investigation helped us confirm that he's being aided by someone from the Masters of the Nightwind. I'm getting closer to narrowing down who that may be, but it's still unclear whether this person aided the captain out of willingness or coercion. If you learn anything about this during your adventures, please let me know. Oh, something else you'd like to ask?
About the elementary G and the Abyss.
The Abyss is the most formidable enemy in all of Teyvat. In the beginning, it took failure and tragedy to even begin to learn how to fight back. All of the methods you've seen in other nations were developed based on experience and insight passed down over generations. We know them to work, but few of us actually understand why. It's the same for the method we use here in Natlan. Ever since ancient times, elemental energy has been one of our most reliable weapons against the Abyss. As for the principles behind it, I'm afraid you might have to seek answers from someone older than the position of Pyro Archon itself. Oh, something else you'd like to ask?
Older than the Pyro Archon original, या तो सारियन वारियन कुछ मिलेगा हमें बाद में शायद स्टोरी में. मेरे को ऐसा लगता है, प्रेडिक्ट कर रहा हूँ, मैंने अभी तक देखा नहीं, शायद देखें 5.3 5.4 में, पर अभी तो कुछ नहीं, अभी तो 5.2 ही गया है, वही चल रहा है अभी. About the absence of the people from the Netland to other dimensions.
That also comes down to the long-standing effects of the Abyss. Our people's survival is inextricably tied to the Wyab, but their power has its limits. They cannot offer our people the same degree of protection outside our borders. In fact, people who do decide to leave often suffer from memory loss and emotional issues. Everyone in Natlan understands this. That's why our people never leave without a good cause. Even if someone is left with no choice, the chief of their tribe must seek approval with the Wyab to grant them leave. And the Wyab have always been very strict about granting that approval, since extending protection beyond our borders means consuming power reserved for our fight against the Abyss. Still, there's no need to worry. The Wyab extend their protection to all within Natlan, including visitors from afar. Oh, something else you'd like to ask?
I got no question left, my lady. My lady. चलो भाई, ये हो गया. Wait 2 days. ठीक है भाई. चलें ऊपर. मैप. टेलीपोर्ट मार दो भाई फटाफट. Wait 2 days, हाँ. ठीक है भाई. एक दिन हो गया, 2 दिन. इसमें बढ़िया है यार, टाइम आगे पीछे कर दो. एक दिन गया, दूसरा दिन आएगा. सुबह हो गई भाई दूसरे दिन की. एक टाइम और सुबह कर देते हैं. चलो भाई.
Things have been looking really rough for Natlan lately. There are more and more commissions from the Adventurers Guild, and they're all related to the Abyss.
5.1 चालू है guys, finally.
Waiting around won't do us any good. Let's go and see if there's anything we can do to help.
5.1 चालू हो गया फाइनली गाइस. अभी रुको, मैं तुम्हें एक चीज बताऊं. मेरे को है ना, अभी फटाफट मैं वॉशरूम होके आ जाऊं फटाफट यार. गाइस 1 मिनट रुकना है ना, यहीं पे रुकना, मैं वॉशरूम होके आता हूँ गाइस.
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered. If you'd like to learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach you.
हाँ तो गाइस वेलकम बैक। मैं आ गया वापस भाई। चलो भाई 5.1 फाइनली चालू करते हैं 1 घंटे बाद भाई। 1-1.5 घंटे बाद 5.1 चालू हुआ भाई। अरे इधर नहीं इधर किधर जाने का अपन को? इधर जाने का, इधर ही जाने का है ना अपने को। चलो बताओ कहाँ चलने का है?
I see. Thank you so much. The Adventurers Guild has been overwhelmed these days.
No worries at all. We've always valued the strength of adventurers. Given the current situation, it's vital that we all work together. Since we're facing the same enemies, I'll send you the intel we've collected on the Abyss so far. Then we can take a look at how to coordinate our efforts.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hi, Catherine. It's us. Got any new commissions?
You two have come just in time. I've got some good news. The Pyro Archon has finished assembling her forces and stationed them all across Natlan. Given how the Abyss has ramped up its activities lately, we can no longer afford to act only after receiving news of an invasion. So the Pyro Archon suggested that the Scions of the Canopy and the Adventurers Guild focus on collecting and disseminating intel. That way, we can stay informed of everything that's happening across the land. Once we receive word of enemy activity, we can notify the nearest camp and the stationed forces can take immediate action.
That will lead to the faster response time?
Yes, precisely. This should also allow us to focus on gathering information, rather than running around and trying to tackle everything at once. So please also take a chance to relax, you two. You've been working hard these days, and this will be a good opportunity for some well-deserved rest.
अरे रेस्ट तो कर लेंगे बाद में।
We can finally stop and take a break.
But the threat of the abyss is still far from over. But the less work we take, the less we earn. Paimon का तो earn.
Paimon knows that. It's not like Paimon just wanted to lay here and do nothing.
Earn वाला ही बोलना चाहिए था Paimon को तो
The
पैसे।
movements of the abyss are always unpredictable. There have also been times when it suddenly became more active in the past. The people here generally see it as something like an acute natural disaster. Once the disaster is over, everyone will return to their normal lives. We just all hope that day will be sooner rather than later.
Oh, right. Most people have no idea just how bad the situation has gotten in the Night Kingdom.
I also hope the day will peace will come soon.
Huh? Is that the Traveler in Paimon? Hello!
Oh, hey, Kachina! Are you feeling better now?
Yep. Now really isn't the time to stay home and recover anyway. I wanted to do something to help. I heard that the Pyro Archon is gathering warriors to be stationed in the more remote areas. So I came here to sign up.
Impressive, Kachina.
Don't think I haven't heard about all the things that you've been doing. With everyone working so hard, I've got to do my part too. Oh, and by the way, Shilonin told me that she was ordered to forge you an ancient name. She said that she's all set, and we can head over whenever we're ready.
चलो भाई मैं तो
So we'll finally get to meet Shilonin, the legendary forger of ancient names. Paimon still can't believe anyone could forge those things.
Shilonin is a true master. Not only can she forge ancient names, but also all sorts of new and fun things. She's always got a pile of commissions on her plate, so you usually have to wait a while before she finishes something. In this case, though, she's completely cleared her schedule just to work with you. She wants to give your name her full attention.
Then we should properly thank her. We meet when we meet. ठीक है भाई, वो जरूरी है भाई। मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ कि भाई मतलब हमें चूज करने को मिलेगा कि नाम कौन सा चुनना है, या गेम इनबिल्ड स्क्रिप्ट वाइज है, स्क्रिप्टेड है। देखते हैं, वो तो बाद में पता चलेगा। अगर खुद को चूज करने को मिलेगा, ऑप्शंस मिलेंगे 4-5 नाम के, उसमें से चूज करो, उसका मीनिंग लिखाएगा, वो चूज करोगे तो सबके अलग अलग नाम होंगे फिर जो भी खेलता है। गेंशिन खेलेगा तो वो भी होता है, या तो स्क्रिप्ट होएगा, तो जो मेन है वही जरूरी है। हाँ सब स्क्रिप्टेड ही है, मेरे को लगता है स्क्रिप्टेड होगा।
Well, I've already signed up as a warrior, so all I have to do for now is wait for my assignment. If it's okay, maybe we can go to see Shilonen together? She wouldn't turn me away, right? I mean, I hope she wouldn't.
क्यों भाई, ऐसा क्यों भाई?
Have some confidence in yourself, Kachina. After all, you're already a victor of the Night Warden Wars.
Everyone's so proud of her. You are the future of your tribe.
On second thought, maybe I'll just find a hole in the ground to jump into and hide for a while.
अरे Beyond the smoke and the mirrors, ये भाई हमारा finally 5.1 चालू हो गया guys. Finally. कहाँ पे अभी है? शिलोने. ठीक है जरा. तो भाई 1400 मीटर दूर. टेलीपोर्ट करो भाई. टेलीपोर्ट. ये रहा. ये ना टेलीपोर्ट. चलो. भाई मेरी टीम पे मत जाना, मेरी टीम ऐसी है भाई, लेवल 60 है सब, कुछ का 40 कुछ का 60 ऐसे ही है, क्योंकि ये वाली दूसरी आईडी थी मेरी, और जिससे मैंने पहले वीडियो बनाए थे वो आईडी प्ले स्टेशन में नहीं लग सकती क्योंकि वो अमेरिका की आईडी है, अमेरिकन सर्वर की है, और ये एशियन सर्वर है, तो मेरे को इसमें वापस खेलना पड़ा। और ये मेरे यही वो ओरिजिनल आईडी है जिसमें मैंने गेंशिन की स्टोरी लाइन चालू करी है, तो देख लो।
Vouch that she's really worthy of a hero's name.
Ah, yes, so I've heard. So young, and yet you've already got quite the reputation. Wait, are you Outlanders?
Yep, we're travelers who just arrived in Natland not too long ago.
No, I mean, I was aware that you're travelers. It's just no one told me that you're Outlanders.
Huh? You're saying the Pyro Archon didn't tell you?
No, the only thing she said is that a new hero had pledged herself to the plan, but we need to forge an ancient name to ensure she'd be able to return safe and sound. She did mention that it would be quite difficult to forge an ancient name for them, but at the time, I thought she was just commenting on my skills. But I seem to understand where the true difficulty lies now.
यही 5.1 बेसिकली इस पे ही डिपेंड है कि हम अपने एशियन नेम कैसे लेंगे।
Used to it, really. I just need a moment to
5.2 में हम आगे स्टोरी कंटिन्यू करेंगे, 5.1 में हम अपने एशियन नेम पर।
Are always difficult to fulfill, and we used to argue a lot. Honestly, it's probably for the better that she didn't bring this up at the time. Anyway, I can't argue with her if she isn't here, and it'd be pointless to take my anger out on someone else. But, just because I understand her rationale doesn't make me any less upset. After all, she must have known that forging an ancient name for an Outlander is an impossible task.
It's impossible?
As you probably know, an ancient name is a symbol of a hero's sparing glory, which grows even richer and heavier as generations of successors inherit it. We forge ancient names by engraving the heroic deeds of an individual who will become the first hero of that particular name.
I have got plenty of deeds under my belt. I've got. अब हाँ ये ठीक है भाई. Yeah, the countless.
But they were all performed outside of Natlan, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
मुतर गया हमारा.
Then those deeds haven't been recorded by the Night Kingdom. To take it one step further, even if you had performed heroic deeds in Natlan, as an Outlander, your actions still wouldn't have been recorded by our lands. Only memories and experiences that have been acknowledged by the Wyab can be used as a basis for an ancient name.
Sure.
Even the greatest of craftsmen cannot create something out of thin air, you know. That's just how it is.
Seems the Wyab don't want just anyone to get a name, huh?
Mawika, of all people, should know better than anyone, yet she's still entrusted the task of forging the ancient name to me.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Nobody's happy being asked to do the impossible.
Why do I feel like this has happened before? I think last time, Shilonen just ended up running dozens of laps around the hills nearby.
Ugh, don't remind me. Let's just focus on how we can pull this off. How to achieve the impossible.
You mean you're already willing to accept the task?
Well, what else can I do? What's happened is already done, and it's not like I can outright defy the order of my Archon. If she gave me this order, then she believes the ancient name is an indispensable part of her plan, and that I'll be able to find a way to make it happen. In other words, the order is an affirmation of my abilities.
Whoa, not only has she accepted the task, but now she's looking for silver linings?
Maybe that's just how she and the Archon trust each other. ये भी है, और साथ में मेरे को ऐसा लगता है मविका ने इसको इसलिए दिया है कि जैसे पिछले बार हमें मुलानी का पता चला था कि वो अपने एंशिएंट नेम को जाने पहचाने, तो उसके हिसाब से इसके लिए भी शायद यही है कि ये टास्क है तो कोई करना है जिससे तू अपने एंशिएंट नेम की तरफ और थोड़ा मतलब कनेक्टेड होएगी, इससे पावर बढ़े. अवेकन तो है पर कनेक्टेड और वो डीपली कनेक्शन बनना चाहिए. उसके हिसाब से मेरे को ऐसा लगता है, इसलिए बनाया इसको.
Yeah! Let's see if we can find some special way to pull this off. If we really can't make it work, I'm sure we can still go back and talk to the Pyro Archon, right?
The key is getting the Wyab to somehow acknowledge the traveler's existence and record her heroic deeds.
We heard the voice of a Wyab when we were in the Night Kingdom before. We even had a whole conversation with her. If we can talk to her again, maybe we can figure something out together.
Well, every tribe has their own Wyab. How do we know if the one you met is indeed the best one for us to talk to? Plus, considering the unprecedented nature of this situation, I have a feeling that the acknowledgement of one Wyab alone would probably not be enough.
Would we need to gain the acknowledgement of all 6 Wyabs?
I don't know. That requires a level of knowledge that I do not possess. We need to find a consultant who's an expert on all things Night Kingdom and Wyab. The first person who comes to mind is Seatlali at the Masters of the Nightwind. The one we call Granny Eatsley.
Granny Eatsley.
Oh, we've heard that name before. We used her Spirit Speaker Stone to find Kachina's ancient name. A person who can make something like that must be pretty impressive. I'm unsure she'd be able to help.
Still, she's older now and quite eccentric. It's hard to even book a meeting with her, given that she's constantly holed up in her room and doesn't like to be disturbed. I've heard that to get her help, you have to be extremely patient with her and know how to keep her spirit up.
बच्ची है, Granny है बच्ची.
I hate to break it to you, but...
She probably won't be very happy with us.
Huh. Why is that? I mean, didn't she already help you before? And you even managed to save Kachina.
Well, yeah. At the cost of her Spirit Speaker Stone being split into 2.
ये भी तो लफड़े हैं हमारे.
Great going, Mawika. We're already off to a rocky start here. In that case, I guess your only option is to try to emphasize that this is an important order from the Pyro Archon. Hopefully, Seatlali would still want to show respect to the Archon. I'll also write you a letter on your behalf. If you can find someone to deliver it and mention some good things about you, then that should help too.
Oh! Let's ask Kanich to deliver the letter. He understands the whole situation, and is already a familiar face to her.
Paimon sure hopes a Hal won't interrupt when he's talking, though.
उसका ड्रैगन वो बीच-बीच में आता रहता है ना.
Alright, Kanich is a seasoned negotiator. I trust that he'll know the best things to say.
Great! Then I'll go contact him right now.
Please just give me a moment to write the letter, and we can meet up near the Statue of the Seven later.
ठीक है.
Sounds good. We'll take a stroll in the meantime.
पीछे की ऑडियो बहुत प्यारी आती है भाई. चिल्ड्रंस ऑफ एको की भाई बहुत प्यारी स्मूथ एकदम फील वाली भाई म्यूजिक सुनो पीछे का बैकग्राउंड का भाई बहुत एकदम फील आ रही भाई चलो भाई म्यूजिक तो सुनते रहते हम किधर 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 तो ऊपर ही जाना है का अभी वही है मतलब यहाँ पे हो गया ना we meet again Kitchen told me everything I will relieve the message of the master night wind and convince Sidlali to give a chance I will also take the chance to explain what happened in the spirit speaker stone and offer her an apology in person.
I'm sorry to put this on you, Kanich. It's just that you're probably the only person who knows how to deal with her.
Yeah, obviously. It's alright. We all working for the sake of the Pyre or Archon's plan. After all, everyone here understand how dire the situation is.
Oh, wait, so Kachina and the Traveler also know about the plan?
Because we all saw a hero of the past rematerialize right before our eyes. And then Mualani said that a ton of knowledge and memory suddenly flooded her brain. The Pyral Archon explained everything when we came back from the Night Kingdom, including the reason behind the appearance of the hero, as well as the current state of the Night Kingdom.
Right. She mentioned there are 6 heroes and that Shilonen is one of 4 that have already been acknowledged.
Oh, well, then I suppose there's no need to keep any secrets between us. Having companions walk by your side is perhaps the best solace when facing such a bleak reality.
I have another piece of intel to share. We are pretty much identified the person who rescued the captain in the Stadium of the Secret Flames. His name is Oron, and he is also hails from the Master of the Night Wind. However, he spent most of his life living out in the wilderness by himself, and away from the rest of the tribe. Anyway, that's why his disappearance went unnoticed by the time Sitlali finally realized that he was gone, no one had heard from him for a quite a while.
Sitlali knows him too?
That's right. Oran was an orphan raised by the chief of the Master of the Night Wind and many other kind-hearted people in his tribe. Still, he had something of an odd reputation his whole life.
Odd, huh?
Given how the Masters of the Night Wind love to babble about dreams and revelations, they're already a pretty strange bunch to most. I've never met Auroran, but if they consider him the odd one, he's got to be pretty far out there.
That's right. So, in that sense, Oran and Sitlali actually have quite a bit in common, which is why they get along pretty well.
Makes sense. But Paimon wonders how Sitlali could be the first one to notice Auroran's disappearance if she spends the whole day in her room.
As of now, we still haven't been able to confirm whether Oran joined the fraternity voluntarily or if he was. So, proceed. Sitlali is probably eager to prove that Oran has betrayed his people. I plan to use this as leverage when I go talk with her.
Huh, so if I'm following, you mean we'll help her investigate Roran and the captain's whereabouts?
सही बात भाई. Yes, if you are all on board with that idea, then it became mutual benefit collaboration rather than just one-sided request. सही बात है भाई. Even though I don't think Sitlali is kind of a person to turn an order from the Pyro Archon. Working together with us will help force and not distracted by the whole Oron situation. Good idea. This way we get to both worlds win story.
Yeah! Plus, we kinda owe her one anyway to make up for breaking the spirit speakers down.
This is a pretty well thought out plan. As expected of Molly Poke Nietzsche.
Molly. Turn fire.
Then, yeah, I'll leave my letter to you. Let's hope Seat Lolly can meet at the stadium in 2 days.
Sure, I will handle out right away. I will head out right away. अरे मैं क्या हो गया भाई इंग्लिश में?
Take care out there, Kanich. I'll be heading back as well. There's still a few things I need to pack.
Okay, then let's part ways for now. I'll see you in a couple of days.
ठीक है. एक भी नहीं है अभी मेरे पास. एक भी नहीं है मेरे पास. Wait until tomorrow. बड़ा वाइट है. परसों तक का है क्या टाइम? पहले मेल चेक कर लें भाई. कुछ है क्या मेल? कुछ भी नहीं. लो भाई.
The most important part of going out to have fun is, well, going out. So just show up and I'll...
कितना बार भाई? एक जरा सा और बढ़ा देता हूँ. लो भाई इतना तो कर लो. अब तो चल सकते हैं ना. आप जा
Oh, it's time to meet up with Shilonen. Let's ask her how things have been going.
चलो भाई.
Off we go. Hey, Shilonen, how's everything going?
Oh, hi, Traveler and Paimon. I have bad news. Seat Lolly did not reply to our request. Although, I suppose I'm not too surprised.
Huh? You mean she didn't even bother to give Kanich a response? Guess she really does have quite the ego then.
Yeah, well, she can be also quite eccentric, though she's one of the most gifted people around. Even the Masters of the Nightwind often struggle to work with her. My guess is that she probably has other reasons for not deigning us with a response. But let's go to the stadium and see if we can meet her there. If we do get a chance to talk to her in person, we can still try to work something out.
That's true. Let's go!
चलो. कहाँ पे? Fast travel only.
Carving waves!
काय को टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हैं अपना? You arrive at the stadium of secret flame. इंतजार कर रहे हैं हम अभी तक.
Paimon doesn't see anybody. Seems she's just not gonna show up, huh?
Well, we tried to be as considerate as we could, but she's under no obligation to help.
That might be true, but this is still a request from the Pyro Archon, right? Shouldn't a subject always answer the call of their Archon?
A subject? Well, if you ask me, I'd say we're all more like friends with the Archon. Yes, Mawika is our leader, but that doesn't mean there's any kind of tall barrier between us and her. The only thing is that she often has very high expectations of us.
I can tell.
So even though she's super powerful, it sounds like she's actually pretty down to earth and easy to get along with. Unlike that old hag Granny Eatstily, right? Does she think she can ignore us just because she's famous? You all talk about her like she's some kind of huge deal, but she didn't even bother to reply to our letter. Seriously, if she didn't want to come, she could at least let us know.
अरे भाई पाइमन चुप हो जा थोड़ी देर.
If that's what aging does to you, Paimon never wants to get old.
Oh, really? So, that's how you see me?
Who's there? Who's talking next to Paimon?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a disgruntled old hag, right? Come on, relax. I'm sure my bark's worse than my bite.
Huh? Seat Lolly.
Oh.
Wait, you're Seat Lolly? You're Granny Eatstily?
Yes, Granny Eatstly. But emphasis on Eatstly, not Granny. You must know this trope from light novels, surely. They use it all the time. The young man who's actually the oldest person in the room. The girl next door who turns out to be a seasoned veteran. The wise sage who looks like a little kid. Oh, wipe that look off your face! You've seriously never seen an older lady that doesn't look her age? Okay, well, don't go thinking it's a trick either. See? I'm barely wearing any makeup.
क्या बात?
Did I forget to mention, she's called Granny, but she's actually pretty young.
And you are complaining about the pyro leaving things out.
It was an honest mistake. I guess we've just gotten used to it.
I'm sorry. So, how old are you actually?
ये नहीं पूछते कभी भी किसी से.
What? How dare you? Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady her age?
वही.
Paimon really didn't mean to offend you. It's just that your case seems really unique. Oh, Paimon just wanted to apologize, but now she's putting more and more of her foot in her mouth. Really, Paimon just got a little mad since we thought, well, you were gonna leave us out to dry.
It was my idea to invite you here, Seat Lolly. So if you're upset, you can just take it out on me.
All right. I was only joking. I didn't mean to chastise anyone. There's really no need to take all this so seriously. If anything, I'm gonna feel awkward if we keep this going. I received Kenichi's letter and was planning to attend this meeting. Since I had already decided to come, I figured there was no need to draft a reply that simply said, "Understood." Besides, just showing up is the most important part, no? But, of course, it's also natural for people to get held up by one thing or another as they're trying to leave the house. It certainly was a bit awkward to see that everyone else had arrived before me. At first, I was thinking of quietly sneaking over, but since you were already here waiting for me, I started to think about how I should phrase my apology. Only to hear you all talking smack about me. Anyway, that's the whole story.
Reaction there.
Honestly, it's not like I owed you an explanation anyway.
तब भी बता ही दिया. समझ गए. Sorry.
What's with that expression? Was
Could
she
tell you.
feeling embarrassed just now?
ये क्या टेलीपैथी से बात कर रही है हमसे? She's waiting for us to carry on the conversation. Everything she's saying sounds like a joke, but it's not sure if I should laugh. Would it be rude to laugh, or even more rude not to laugh?
When the Masters of the Night Wind say they struggle dealing with her, I wonder if the feeling is mutual. She seems to be pretty awkward herself. Everything she does and says seems a little forced.
Anyway, Shilonen, I heard that you require my help in crafting an ancient name.
Correct. The situation isn't like anything we've handled before. Let me explain.
Leonin explains the Pyro Archon request as...
I see. So Mawika has asked you to forge an ancient name for an Outlander. Well, that would be a first. And you've also heard all about Auroron. I must say, he's always been a good kid. I can't see him joining the Fatui of his own volition. He must have been coerced somehow.
We'll know once we find him.
Yeah, that's what we came here to ask you. We'll help bring Auroron back if you help us solve the problems of forging the ancient name. What do you think?
I suppose I'll just call you Traveler for now. Traveler, come here. Let me take a good look at you.
भाई क्या भाई?
Wealth leads to unending conflicts between people. Yet you alone transcend the value of gold. Baleful thunder and wrathful waves bring terror to mortal hearts. Yet again and again, you've braved them to find new worlds. O weary yet free soul, even the most verdant leaf in the forest will pray for your happiness and safe passage.
Excuse me? What was all that supposed to mean?
Those are all the things that I could see in you. You've experienced far more than even most mortals could dream of. You possess the heart of a sincere hero, along with the conviction to lift a torch above your head and walk headlong into the night.
सही बात है भाई.
Huh? Don't move. There's something here.
Huh? What thing? Don't scare Paimon. Is the Traveler gonna be okay?
कितना डरते हैं पाइमोन यार.
Shoo! That should do it. You've just returned from the Night Kingdom, so some fragments of souls were still stuck to your body. No need to worry. I've just cleared out the last of them.
Isn't that kinda like having part of a ghost come back with you?
इसका कोई significance होगा बाद में देखना मेरे को लगता है.
It's nothing as serious as that. If left unattended, the most it could do is stir up some chaos in your mind, and generally worsen your mood.
Well, in that case, better to get rid of them.
Thank you.
It was nothing. Shilonen, let's follow your proposal. Once you've brought Auroron back, I'll take you to see the Lord of the Night.
The Lord of the Night? But don't we need to talk to the Wyab of the tribes?
Something this important is beyond their jurisdiction. Only the Lord of the Night can decide whether we can grant an ancient name to one who does not hail from our lands.
Sure.
The Lord of the Night is an ancient entity that rules over the entire Night Kingdom, constantly borrowing the power of the sacred flame to combat corrosion from the abyss.
Sure.
Oh, so you're basically saying it's even more powerful than the Wyab of the tribes. Well, that sort of makes sense, being the lord of the entire Night Kingdom and all.
Not exactly. It's not so much that one's more powerful than the other. But never mind. That's not important. It would take too much time to explain. Just listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The Lord of the Night is currently in a deep slumber, and we can only communicate with its consciousness while in a trance. In other words, in a dream.
Yeah.
But I will need to prepare a few more things if we are to hold a ceremony to achieve the state of the trance. I'll make a list. Can any of you get everything for me?
बिल्कुल.
I can go. It'll probably be a long list, so better leave it to someone who knows all the local vendors.
Sounds good. Then we'll go with St. Lolly to track down Auroron.
Phew, the Fatui are nothing to scoff at, so please, be careful during your investigation. If you need any help, just come find me.
Yep, we'll be sure to play it safe.
चलो.
All right, now it's time for us to catch that brat and bring him back. I'm sorry I made you wait earlier. It was actually because I decided to swing by Auroron's place to look for clues. He has always lived alone, and I found a broken jar in his house. There was also something off about his phlogiston aphids. which I assume is because their keeper has been gone for quite some time. And interestingly enough, I saw some slash marks in the house that did not match any of our local weapons. My guess is they were left by Snezhnayan arms.
Oh, sounds like the Fatui broke into his house and took him hostage.
देखना पड़ेगा.
But why would they kidnap a kid who just spends his days living in the country and raising aphids? He's only in his 20s. What would they want with him? That's not to say that I believe he's totally innocent, of course. Since he's the only one who was kidnapped out of everyone in Natlan, he must have done something to attract their attention. In any case, we'll get to the bottom of this once we manage to get him back here. I'm truly sorry to put you two through all this trouble with me. But please help me get him back.
You can count on us!
All right, then let's start by heading to where Auroron was seen last.
चलो भाई. कितनी दूर है? टेलीपोर्ट मार दूं मैं. टेलीपोर्ट भाई जरूरी. किधर किधर कहीं कहीं ये नहीं मार देते. इधर का टेलीपोर्टर यूज नहीं किया मैंने अभी तक. बोला ही नहीं. एक्टिव ही नहीं किया. चलो.
Off we go.
Need a surf?
अरे गलत बात भाई. यहाँ पे आते गिर के जाता हूँ. चलो.
This is the spot. An eyewitness claimed to have seen Auroron speaking to some Fatui soldiers here. I don't know how much you're willing to believe me, but Auroron really is a good kid. I see no reason why he'd suddenly get involved with the Fatui. I'm convinced that what the witnesses saw was actually the Fatui coercing him, or perhaps trying to extract information. However, I doubt anyone would believe me, given there are no signs of a fight.
Didn't Kanich say that she's a big name in Natlan? Feels kinda weird to see her so frustrated and helpless like this.
Could you tell me a little more about him?
Auroron? Well, he was left at the side of the road as an infant, and the people of the tribe took him in. You could say that everyone had a hand in raising him. He learned a lot from us, and once he reached adulthood, he built himself a house out in the countryside. He spends most of his days growing vegetables and raising aphids, living off of what he harvests from the garden. He's always been such a good kid. He would even get his friends to deliver whole bags of fresh produce to my place.
If that's all there is to him, then he really doesn't sound like the bad person.
Oh well, let's keep looking. He can answer all of our questions once we find him. He's been raising phlogiston aphids for a long time, and since they were disturbed, they secreted a special type of phlogiston. We can use that substance to track his movements. Let's follow the phlogiston trail.
Huh? What trail? Paimon doesn't see anything.
Oh, right. I forgot your eyes don't naturally perceive such things. Here, give me your hand.
अरे जादूपंती.
How about now?
What do you see?
I can see letters now.
Whoa, Paimon can see it now too!
That's right. I used a spell to temporarily transfer a portion of my senses to you. For a short while, you'll be able to see the phlogiston too.
Wow, you can even share your senses with us? First time Paimon's heard anything like that.
It requires a very rare spell that most people aren't adept at. But don't worry, it's a cinch for me. Between the two of you, it seems the Traveler's senses are a bit stronger than Paimon's. When I held your hand just now, I could sense that you've got a great affinity for phlogiston. You're extraordinarily gifted. Anyway, we'll need to use our vision now to track down Auroron. Good luck, you two.
Over here, this way! See, Lolly might say a lot of deep and confusing stuff, but this spell of hers is really something.
Bata.
What was that?
कुछ नहीं.
Oh, Paimon was just complimenting you. Really?
Active करो भाई ने.
What does she mean by deep and confusing? As far as elderly shamans go, I'd say that I'm already pretty easy to talk to. Is there any other old hag who's as fluent in the language of the youth as me? But is my way of speaking still not trendy enough? I've already tried my best to match their speech patterns. But given the looks on their faces just now... Or perhaps I'm still not fashionable enough? But that can't be, right? Don't tell me they're still getting the impression that I'm super old-fashioned.
ये अपने में सोच रही भाई. I think I just heard a voice. Wait, but it wasn't with my ears. It's all in my mind.
Was that St. Lolly's voice?
Telepathy. Seems Paimon heard the same voice, but she is also like, she understands what's going on. Let me think. It's just by a side effect of a spell she cast.
Now that I think about it, it's a good thing I found some helpers this time. Some things are best done with the help of friends.
So we can now hear her thoughts though. Telepathy. Oh, this is amazing. Sometimes some things like this could only happen mystically.
Oh? They appear to be feeling quite confident. Looks like our work will go smoothly.
Telepathy. You bet, just leave it to us. Telepathy bhai.
Hey, looks like there's a new camp over there.
Let's go take a look.
Yeah, judging by Paimon's experience as a guide, it definitely looks like people set up camp here.
Wait. The phlogiston here is a bit odd. Let me see.
क्या हो गया?
Paimon sees a small shape here. Could it be some sort of symbol?
This is a distress signal for the Masters of the Night Wind. Only someone from our tribe would recognize it. So Auroron was indeed being threatened. We've got to find him. Fast. Leaving such a subtle mark implies that he was trying to be discreet. In other words, he was probably under the Fatui's watch. If they notice us, we can just charge in and fight them to the death. But what if my darling grandson is also there? I can't have him caught in the crossfire.
Granny उसकी है Auron की.
No, I've got to be careful. Otherwise he'd get hit as well. How annoying. No, I've got to stay calm and keep my composure.
There are traces of people staying here too.
Wait a second. The phlogiston around here is jumbled up. I can also smell a mix of elements in the air. Pyro, electro, and some other elements as well.
Kanich told us that you were super amazing. No wonder you can sense so many more things than us.
It's about time that little brat said something nice about me. There are signs of a struggle here. Judging from what's left on the scene, there must have been a fight. But after that, the factions seem to have gone their separate ways. Both the phlogiston and the elemental traces in the air support that.
Seems like Auron find a chance to fight back.
Do you still remember the little mark we found before? Paimon's thinking, what if Auroron wanted to leave another distress signal, but was caught by the Fatui?
It looks pretty worried. Indeed, judging by the signal from before, Auron was being held by the Fatui, so given the difference in number, he probably won't be able to overpower them.
Given there are 2 signals leading from here, we should split up as well. I'll take this direction, and leave the other one to you. Let's meet.
ठीक है भाई, बाद में मिलेंगे.
Auroron, what the heck were you doing? It's one thing to trouble me, but now I had to bring other people into this as well. You little brat.
And off she goes. Traveler, did you hear all of that as well? Once Seatlolly left, that voice went away as well. Paimon even tried calling her name inside Paimon's head, but there was no response.
So the telepathy doesn't go both ways?
So you were thinking the same thing. Paimon also thought that if we could hear what she was thinking, then she could probably also hear what we were thinking in our heads.
I don't think Seatlolly noticed anything.
She did say that she was quite adept at this spell, and it doesn't sound like she's had any trouble with it in the past. Huh, maybe we're a special case and can hear her thoughts as a side effect. If you think about it, she's really got a lively inner world. It paints quite a different picture from Paimon's first impression of her.
Carving waves!
देखें यहाँ पे क्या भाई?
Let's ride! Off we go!
Paimon sees some traces here. Let's follow them and see if we can find anything up ahead.
वो सब ठीक है, पहले मैं ये कर लूँ. मैं टेलीपोर्टर सेट कर लूँ.
Carving waves!
There are traces of phlogiston here, but
Did you find something?
I found some traces of phlogiston, but that are completely unsure.
Huh. So we can't tell where Auroron might have gone from here. That's weird. The phlogiston trail suddenly stops. We can't make anything of these footprints either. But he can't have just evaporated into thin air, right? We know he wasn't alone. He had all those Fatui with him.
Paimon's right. This is all extremely strange.
So, you can hear the sounds of the wind from beneath the earth.
अब इसकी बात सुन रहे हम, कौन है ये अब? Whose voice was that just now? ये क्या हो गया भाई? दुनिया हिल गई हमारी. कहाँ पहुँच गया? हेलो मनु, क्या होगा क्या होगा क्या होगा? 35 हो गई मेरी एडवेंचर, ये हो गया इस आईडी में। अरे हम अंदर पहुंच गए कहीं। The Night Kingdom? How did I get here? Captain?
I'm very sorry, but please do not
Auroron.
move. I have no desire to hurt you.
Oh?
I apologize that our first meeting has to take place like this. It's just that you're much like one of those animals with ears that perk up as soon as it senses danger in their environment. And given your combat proficiency, I would not have been able to gain an advantage over you if you were anywhere else in the world. However, you're now in the Night Kingdom, a familiar domain to the masters of the Night Wind. Hello, traveler. I'm Auroron, the one you've been searching for.
But what does this mean? Have you escaped the Fatui custody?
Ah, the Fatui's custody. I see. So even Granny has told you that I was coerced by the Fatui. I'm afraid you've been brought here by a lie, like a false omen in the lingering smoke. My friend and I only left those traces to lure you here. Deceiving you was never our true intent, however. It was simply the fastest and most feasible way for us to set up a meeting.
Captain को क्या हो गया इधर?
Greetings, traveler from afar.
Be careful with this traveler. Her soul is temporarily restrained by us, and it appears to have become more fragile in the process. It's taking all my concentration to hold on to her.
It was I who tasked Auroron with leaving the traces to lead you here, and I who used the Master's ritual to bring your soul to the Night Kingdom.
So you are working together. What did you want? What do you want?
I've heard much about you from the past encounters you've had with my colleagues. Given the present situation in Natlan, I would like to sincerely request a formal meeting with you, in person. I will use the opportunity to explain my goals and motivations to you, as well as why I mistrust Malwika, the Pyro Archon. I believe there is little reason for you to blindly follow her plan. If you would like to hear our intel, then find us to the east of the stadium. But remember, not a word of this to anyone. I would like to avoid any further conflict.
You will see me again once you return to reality. No matter what I say, please, help me keep this a secret. This is all to avoid dragging Granny into this conflict.
ठीक है भाई, समझ गए. I'm fine. Was my soul forcibly removed from my body just now? That would explain why I can't hear Palmana.
Hey, why are you sitting on the ground? Are you okay?
See Lolly! She froze for a moment and then just collapsed to the ground!
Could it have been those leftover remnants from the Night Kingdom? Do you have any itches or pain anywhere?
I'm fine. Just a little lightheaded.
Don't worry. We can take a short break. Sorry, I know I asked for your help. But had I known you were feeling unwell, I wouldn't have taken you on this trip with me.
कोई दिक्कत नहीं. If they were being truthful, then they must have responsible motive. Reasonable response. अरे क्या हो गया मेरी अंग्रेजी को? then they must have reasonable motivations for what they did. But should I trust them? I could just share everything with Paimon and Sidlali right now, but that would mean giving up on the lead. I still haven't had much dealing with either of the Fatui or the Master of the Night Wind. I suppose I still stay quiet for now and see if I can find out anything else.
If you're feeling sick, you should just say so. See, Lolly should be able to, exorcise any ghosts or weird stuff that you picked up in the Night Kingdom.
A seasoned traveler must know the importance of not pushing yourself beyond your limit. If you need anything from me, just say the word.
Thanks, everyone. I'm feeling fine now.
In any case, let's take a bit more time to rest now.
Even though the situation over there is changed, the wrong word echo in my mind. Meanwhile, Zitlali continued to keep on.
Need to be more careful next time.
Feeling better yet, Traveler?
All right, let's get ready. I followed my phlogiston trail earlier to a stronghold guarded by soldiers. I have a feeling that Auroron is probably being held inside.
Oh, so it's close by. Then let's head over right away.
I'm so sorry, I didn't realize I was holding up.
Well, I recruited you to be my helper, which means we're in this together. Like the wind and the clouds. We either move as one or not at all. But if you want to make it up to me, then just be sure to fight extra hard when the time comes.
चलो क्या कर रहा है भाई तू किसके कैप्टन के साथ क्या कर रहा है भाई और क्या कर रहा है किधर है इधर चलने का चलो
Look over there.
Huh? Paimon thinks she sees someone in the middle of the camp.
That's Auroron. So he really was taken by the Fatui.
So that's Auroron. He does look the same as when I spoke to him in the Night Kingdom earlier.
All right, we'll take the lead.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Don't you have work to do?
I cannot see the sun.
What?
Without the sun, I cannot see the truth. You are currently blocking the light, so I must beseech you to move aside.
Huh? Okay, Mr. Philosopher. That's enough mumbo-jumbo.
Wow. I'm going to rip that guy's head right off.
See, Lolly's struggling to control her temper now.
Are you ready? Let's go kick their butts.
चलो
On my count. 3, 2, 1!
चलो
Still trying to resist? You've got no idea who you're up against!
This should be fun. Time to fulfill my duty. It isn't time for break-in.
Strike a pose!
Not breaking a sweat.
पीटा
Time to say hello. Farewell.
It isn't time for a break-in.
Settle down.
The tides beckon. Silence!
Let's end this quickly.
अरे भाई ये तो पीट रहा है बहुत दूर से.
Let the world collide! Amazing! Let's shred, Sharky!
अरे यार.
Oh, no one fights.
पीट दिया भाई.
Let's end this quickly. Prepare yourself.
पूरा फोकस बनाना पड़ेगा भाई. इसका देखना पड़ेगा मेरे को. ये हील कर रहा है ना.
How dare you!
तू हील कर रहा है सबको ना. तू हील करेगा.
Not too far now. The voices are calling.
Present!
It isn't time for a break yet. Prepare yourself. Not breaking a sweat. Let's end this quickly. No slacking off.
अब गए ये.
Let's not waste time.
Strike a pose! Time to shine! Someone help me! Stop that!
Settle down.
Can't run from death.
Be sanctified.
Let's end this quickly.
Bow your head.
Almost.
Silence.
Let the world collide! How brilliant!
Let's end this quickly.
मर गया बस मर गया. ये रे और आगे ये कार्टून लोग. इधर आ.
Let my name echo in song!
Bow your head. The tides beckon. An oversight on my part.
Miscalculated.
कौन मर गया.
An unfortunate fault.
बस खत्म. जीत गए भाई. थोड़ी इंटेंस हो गए थे भाई.
Granny.
Paimon knows she's called Granny Eats to Lead, but it's still kind of weird hearing someone actually call her Granny.
And greetings to you too, other Granny.
Other Granny. अरे भाई बेइज्जती.
What did you just call her?
Granny. Is that not right? You are Granny's friend, are you not? You seem to be approximately the same age as her, so I figured you're also a Granny.
How many times have I told you? It doesn't work like that. There are a lot of people who look about the same age as me.
You can't go around calling everyone Gramps or Granny.
सही बात है.
Oh, wait. He's not a child, is he? Don't tell Paimon he's one of those people who look like an adult but are actually only 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, your words have pierced my heart like a thorned vine. Given how hard those thorns are to remove, I may just need to find a pair of tweezers.
Why are you so upset? You can just say yes or no.
Of course I'm not a child. It's just, Granny always taught me to show gratitude where it's due. And since the Masters of the Night Wind raised me collectively, I basically see everyone above a certain age as an elder I should look up to.
The way he talks definitely changed, but it doesn't feel like he's putting on an act. He asked me to whatever I could help him. Keep things a secret, and even said I would be a Citlali safe. So you treat everyone like they are uncle or aunties, or you treat everyone like they are grandpa or grannies.
Exactly.
दोनों एक ही. क्या बात है?
But if you keep that up, then everyone's going to be your senior.
And do you think saying all of this is gonna save you from a scolding, Auroron? Haven't I told you 100 times since you were a kid? Heed the 3 warnings.
Be wary of beasts prowling around, scammers looking for their next victim, and strange people who appear out of nowhere.
Oh, so you do remember, and you just chose to ignore them. I always knew that living on your own was going to get you into trouble sooner or later. But getting kidnapped? That really takes the cake. You won't always be able to rely on other people coming to your rescue, you know. You're just lucky we got here when we did. Or we might be launching another search and rescue operation to find out where they put your severed head.
I'm sorry, Granny. I'll be more careful next time.
Next time? Oh, good one. You think there'll be a next time after this? Not a chance.
They didn't hurt you, did they?
No, they just asked me a lot of questions about Natlan's terrain and made me draw a map of the ley line distribution.
Okay, now answer me honestly. Were you the one who helped the captain escape after his battle with the Pyro Archon?
Yes.
So why did you do it?
Because they said they would need my help from there on out. They also said that if I refused, they'd just come to you, Granny, and they'd already figured out a way to make you do their bidding.
Hey! I'm no ordinary Granny! Would they really dare to come after me? And you! Did the gods give you a brain just for you to not use it? Did you really believe everything they said at face value, and not stop to think? Thankfully, the Pyro Archon only asked that we find the mysterious individual from the Masters of the Night Wind, and didn't slap your name on a wanted poster. Don't think for a second that she doesn't know what's happening. Even if the truth that you see will soon manifest into reality, there is still no need to preemptively panic. Have you forgotten the words that I've taught you?
I'm sorry.
Forget it. We can submit the details of this camp and the defeated Fatui as evidence of your innocence. Let's clean this place up and get back to the city. Auroron, you better remember this lesson well and seriously reflect on your actions. Also, once we return to the city, come to the speaker's chamber with me. I'll need you to explain everything.
Sounds good. Should I bring some of my homegrown vegetables as well?
Your vegetables?
इतना सब होने के बाद मैं वेजिटेबल ले आऊं आपके घर में साथ साथ आते आते. वाह भाई.
I
चिल
grow a
एकदम.
lot of fresh produce in my garden. I hope the Pyro Archon won't be too picky about the selection.
Now's not the time to be thinking about that. If you do come face to face with the Pyro Archon, the first thing you should do is...
Recite the 3 warnings.
Huh? No! You should emphasize that you were not in cahoots with the Fatui!
अरे बच्चे ये अभी
How
करा
exactly did the
ठीक
masters
करेक्ट
raise this guy?
Oh, right.
बढ़िया बढ़िया मेरे 100 कैरेक्टर मर गए फॉल हो गए भाई इनको ठीक करना पड़ेगा चलो भाई पहले वहीं चलते हैं पहले इन्हें ठीक करें वो सब तो ठीक है पहले यहीं चलते हैं You return to the city, Lali brings the speaker and you counter everything that would happen to her.
I see. So Auroron came to the captain's rescue because he promised to help him in exchange for Lali's safety.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Now that you know Auroron was only trying to protect another member of his tribe, could I ask you to petition the Pyro Archon for her forgiveness?
We'll give her a full report. We'll let you know once she's reached a decision.
Will I need to stay here?
Technically, yes. But if Miss Lali is willing to serve as your guarantor, then we can release you from custody.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that. I don't have any more time to waste here. I still have other things to do.
Understood. Thank you very much. Mr. Auroron, please report back to the Speaker's chamber as soon as you've received notice of the Archon's decision.
I understand. Thank you. And thank you too, Granny.
Well, at least you won't need to hide your face anymore.
Traveler, Paimon, thank you very much for your help. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about my side of the deal. Once Auroron is settled, I'll go talk to Shilonen and get started on forging an ancient name for you.
Oh, thank you!
I will be counting on you.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's as good as done. You can just go twiddle your thumbs or something while you wait for the good news. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Come with me, Auroron. We've got to find you a place to stay for the night.
Goodbye, Other Granny.
Other Granny? Wow. That's... This new grandson of mine is way too polite. The look on his face is probably trying to remind me about my promise. Doesn't strike me as a liar. And I not seen everything for myself. I've never guessed that he could have done so much work behind Citlali's back. What does he really want?
We're finally done. Alright, it's time to find some grub.
Paimon, there's something I need to tell you.
Huh? What is it, Traveler?
Batao. You pulled Paimon aside to tell everything what you saw.
What? That captain?
Keep your voice down.
Sorry. Paimon just didn't see that coming. So you really saw him in the Night Kingdom? And he didn't attack you? Oh, that Auroron, what is he up to? He sounded earnest enough just now. Paimon would have never guessed anything was happening. All that stuff about protecting Lali and being forced to help the Fatui, when he's actually been a willing accomplice all along.
I'm still not completely sure. We still need some information.
Yeah, you're right. Still, Paimon appreciates you telling her about this. Paimon will support your choice no matter what, so if you want to go, we can go together. We still have another whole day before the meeting, so we'll just meet with them when the time comes.
क्या चल रहा है इसके दिमाग में यही समझ नहीं आ रहा क्या रहा है इसके दिमाग में वो देख कर रहा है क्या देख रहा है क्या चल रहा भाई तेरे दिमाग में, पता ही नहीं भाई, देखते हैं क्या चल रहा है। वेट, ठीक है भाई, करते हैं, वेट करते हैं। फटाफट टाइम बीत जाए, निकालो, स्टोरी कंटिन्यू करनी है ना अपने को, तो आर्कन क्वेस्ट करना है, लंबा चौड़ा आर्कन क्वेस्ट है भाई। सोचो 5.1 का कर लेते हैं, फिर उसके बाद 5.2 का कल परसों देखेंगे लाइव स्ट्रीम में। अभी जो भी लाइव स्ट्रीम देख रहा है उसके लिए थैंक यू, यहाँ तक देख रहे हो तो तुम। किधर चलने का है, तो इधर चलने का, चलो। टेलीपोर्ट भी तो मार सकता हूँ मैं। क्या आप यहाँ से करने आए?
Weird. Paimon doesn't see anyone. Oh, please don't let this be a trap.
लड़ाइयों के बाद क्या? अच्छा, यही आया है।
What was that?
Good evening. Nice to see you again.
It's you. You shouldn't pop up from behind people like that. What are you, a ghost?
I'm terribly sorry. It's just a force of habit.
Force of habit.
And what's with you apologizing all the time? You sound so polite and honest, but you're actually doing shady stuff behind people's backs.
You're right. Granny tells me that too. Huh. Come to think of it, you remind me of her. Sometimes you two sound really similar, you know.
Oh, so you're gonna call Paimon Granny too now?
Well, I could.
So what's the purpose of this meeting?
It's all clear. Over to you.
Excellent. The fact that you showed up proves that I was right about your character.
I'm only interested in Intel. I don't really care about what you think of me.
Yet, there's been a lot of talk about you. Child told me that you're passionate about the unknown and willing to take risks. Rather than facing you as an enemy, I would much prefer to bring you to my side. If we allow the current state of things to continue, we will inevitably clash. And that's a scenario that I'd very much like to avoid.
भाई ये जो मेरे को अपनी तरफ लाने की बात कर रहा है, मेरे मतलब इस जो हम ट्विन है, तो मेरा भाई तो वैसे ही पहले इनके साइड है, तो इनको बॉस है, वो तो बेसिकली एक बॉस ही मानो, और ये मेरे को अपने साइड लेके अपनी पावर बढ़ा रहे हैं, जिससे पता नहीं ये नए रूल्स और कुछ भी मतलब पूरी दुनिया चेंज करने दे, कांड्रिया जैसी बिल्कुल ही वापस करना चाह रहे हैं। देखते हैं भाई।
I've long heard of your exploits across the nations. Though you have crossed swords with my colleagues many times, I know that you are by no means an unreasonable person. And once you've learned the truth that the Pyro Archon Malwika would never willingly share with you, you may just find it in your heart to consider my proposal.
नहीं, सॉरी, मैं एक बात बताऊं, मतलब मेरा भाई जो है वो अबिस का वो बॉस है, मतलब बॉस अबिस का बॉस है, और ये मेरे को अपने साइड रख के अपना मतलब मेरे भाई से लड़वा रहे हैं, पर इनको और पावर चाहिए क्योंकि मेरा भाई बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रांग है इस गेम में। बेसिकली यही बात है ना।
I assume you've already been informed of the Pyro Archon's plan. In order to defeat the Abyss and save Natlan, she still needs 2 more heroes to appear.
Wait, how did you know that? Never mind. Guess that's not important now.
I've long kept a close eye on her plan. To be frank, it's an exceedingly risky plan. Will the heroes really appear? And even if they come to her, will their power be enough to drive the Abyss back? If any part of the plan goes awry, all of Natlan, even all of Tevat, will pay for her mistakes.
तो बेसिकली ये पायरो आर्कन को बचाना भी चाहता है, बचाना ही चाहता है बेसिकली, टेवेट को बचाना चाह रहा है, अपने आप को भी बचाएगा, पर ये गलतियां निकाल रहा है उसके प्लान में क्योंकि इसके पास ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस है, शायद पावरफुल दोनों ही है, पर ये जो प्लान है उससे वो उसको वो रिलेट नहीं कर पा रहा, तो ये गलतियां निकाल के वो प्लान में अपने आप जोड़ना चाहता है। ठीक है, समझ रहा हूँ मैं, इंटेंशन समझ रहा हूँ इसकी।
Now, you may have been led to believe that this is the only plan available to her. But what if I told you she's had another emergency plan all along, the details of which she has chosen to keep hidden from you?
Yeah.
An emergency plan?
Yes. A way to keep Natlan intact, even if her original plan fails. But given the painful cost of its execution, she has chosen to keep it as a mere backup plan.
Yeah.
Whether this stems from hesitation, fear, or even naivete, I cannot say. But Natlan cannot afford to wait until she comes to her senses. My fear is that given the enormity of the decision, she will be reluctant to confront the dire reality we face until it is too late. There will be no time left to execute the backup plan, and all of Natlan will be lost to the Abyss. We have to make the decision for her, here and now.
That's just speculations.
Yeah, do you have any evidence for all this? Just telling us a bunch of scary stuff isn't enough, you know. Besides, wasn't it you who tried to seize the Gnosis for the Tsaritsa's plan?
Wait, by seizing the Gnosis and making that decision for her, could that mean that Gnosis had something to do with this backup plan?
I knew you'd be clever enough to see. That's right. I did not seek the Gnosis for the Tsaritsa. Since I was defeated in battle, I must put to rest my thoughts about the Gnosis. But even so, my desire to save Natlan remains unchanged. And now, I have found a new way to solve the crisis. We can implement it immediately if we reach an agreement.
Someone's here.
Huh? The captain disappeared!
Something is rapidly approaching. Oh no.
Something? Bad news, chump! It's your granny!
See, Lolly? When did you get here?
I knew something was amiss after we were separated. Hidden ceremonial tools, an unconscious traveler. I must say, I'm very curious about what you're up to. How dare you go behind our backs like this, Auroron? Colluding with the Fatui? Really? Oh, here we go again. Cat got your tongue, huh? You really think you can avoid a scolding just by staying quiet?
I'm not trying to avoid anything.
Oh, and now you're talking back. Well, go on then. Explain yourself. What the heck are you up to?
I'm sorry, Granny. I feel so guilty.
You! That's it! Where are my tools? I swear if I don't teach you a lesson right here and now, I'll...
Wait, Tivali! Please calm down. We, still learned a lot of info, didn't we? Like the fact that the captain isn't trying to seize the Gnosis anymore. So maybe just save the scolding for later, okay?
Yeah, this is no place to discipline a child.
Listen well, Auroron. You're only getting out of this now because of the Traveler's plea. This isn't over. You hear me? You're right, Traveler. Let's go. We can discuss this more back in the city. You two keep an eye on Auroron for me, okay?
Our conversation with the captain was interrupted at the most crucial moment, but Auroron still here. Maybe we can still learn the rest of बता भाई बता खाली डांट चलो भाई
In all my years, I've never had a child cause me so much grief. Do you seriously not see what's at stake here? You've got a head on your shoulders, Auroron. Use it! Why did you help the captain? And I want the truth this time. No answer? Think you're being smart? Then let me ask a different question. What does the captain want? What is his purpose in Natlan? Really? You're just going to stonewall me?
Looks like Auroron has no intention of answering it.
Just use your brain for a second. What do you possibly stand to gain by helping the captain? Only endless trouble awaits you and everyone in the tribe. You've always been a good kid. Why would you throw that all away now? If you're worried about something, just talk to me. Granny would much rather we had a conversation instead of constantly clashing like this.
Why is he staring at us all of a sudden?
I'm sorry that you have to hear all this.
It's fine. It's definitely awkward.
You're very kind. Most people would have fled by now. Not everyone can handle Granny's scolding.
Oh? You dare gossip between yourselves instead of listening to me? You...
Sorry, Granny.
Sorry, Granny. Sorry, Granny. You know what? Fine. I'm perfectly aware that everything I say goes in one ear and out the other. You're all grown up now, so why would you listen to an old hag like me? You say all the right things, but then you go and completely ignore me. Well, if that's how you're going to treat me, you can stop sending Aoife over to my place to deliver your stupid vegetables! I don't need anything from you!
Who's Aoife? A delivery person?
That's irrelevant. The point is, he hangs out with this kid, so he must be no good. You kids get to a certain age and suddenly act like you know it all. There's nothing I can say to get through to you. Auroron, if you're still thinking about that so-called duty, then please, just forget about it. The ley lines did not fall to this state because of you. And we've long closed the book on that incident.
Seems they've started talking about some kind of tribal history. I'm starting to get lost.
That's not it, Granny.
There's something off about that voice.
I know you tend to get down on yourself when you're upset, but I can tell I really hurt you this time. All I can say is I'm sorry.
His voice. Auroron! Where have you gone?
It sounds like he's somewhere super far away, but isn't he right here in front of us?
ये क्या सीन है इसके साथ?
I'm really sorry. It's up to all of us to do everything we can to save Natlan. So I've got to go.
Get back here this instant! Auroron! What is this? Powder from plant spores? Is that the trick he used?
What just happened? How was he able to suddenly get so far away like that?
It's a trick of his. If you grind spores into a powder and spray it in the air, it can be manipulated to create an illusion. He pulled it off flawlessly. He must have put a lot of time into perfecting it. Don't tell me that's how he's been hunting in the fields these days. Couldn't he have picked up something more useful? Little brat. That's it. The next time we meet, I'm definitely going to break his legs.
भाई साहब, ग्रैनी गुस्से में एकदम पीट देगी उसे अगली बार मिला तो। भाई तो संभल के रहियो भाई ओरोरॉन।
Whoa, that's a little extreme. But still, why does he feel like he needs to run from us? If his goal is also to protect Natlan, then can't we work together?
He still doesn't want to tell us anything about his goal.
I'm sorry for interrupting your conversation with them earlier. But even if you'd been able to hear them out, there's no guarantee you would have gained anything substantial. Auroron probably did everything he could to get away because he knew I'd get the truth out of him sooner or later. That brat. I swear.
The captain probably had some sort of sustainable plan. Otherwise, Auroron would have no reason to keep following him. सही बात है भाई, उसको कुछ ना कुछ तो कुछ मैनिपुलेट या कुछ तो ऐसे करा होगा, है ना? ऐसा तो नहीं होता है. Meeting again in out of the cards for now, so it might be faster to approach the Pyro Archon and confirm what the captain said, and also if I could tell the Auroron substance had harmed Siglali deeply, I need to find a way to comfort her. What was all that about Auroron beauty?
We've got quite a long walk back to the city. Let's take our time. It'll give me a moment to figure out how to explain all this. Do you two have some time? Feeling hungry? How about we get something to eat?
Alright, it's been a while since we last ate. Now that we can relax, Paimon just realized how hungry she is.
Then let's go. We can find somewhere to sit down and talk. Food and drinks are on me.
It's okay, we can cover our own bills. Paimon gets sacred for food fund.
Really? You're not gonna... that's right. See, Lolly has gotten a lot quieter since Auroron ran away. She seems to be having a hard time. She's right. We're seasoned adventurers, so we're more than capable of paying our own bill.
Cheer up karna hai na.
Hey, come on now. You won't even let me take you out for some food and drinks? I just wanted to treat you to a meal.
Are you sure? We can save you some Mora.
Mora is the least of my concerns. Besides, we're definitely due a meal after all the time we've spent together. Let me get this one. I might be an old hag, but I like to think I'm not completely useless.
Sure, that's fine with us, but Paimon doesn't want you to be sad, sweet Lolly.
Don't worry. I'm sure a juicy grilled steak will work wonders.
चलो भाई किधर कैसे ये मेरे कमीशंस सारे प्रीमोजेम्स उठाओ पहले तो
Carving waves!
The three of you walk into the tavern and find a quiet spot. You and Paimon ordered some food and fruit juice while Sitlali being chugging down a bottle after bottle of wine.
What are you looking at?
Do you see two people standing by the door? They look like spitting images of each other. Are they twins?
चढ़ गई
But Paimon only sees one person there.
Huh? How could that be? I guess my mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. Give me another bottle, boss!
Do you think she's drunk?
I would be surprised if she wasn't.
There you go, miss. Oh my, it's not every day you get to see Granny Itzley here with some friends. Not to mention ones who've made a huge name for themselves recently.
Oh, so you've heard of us?
Of course I have. Aren't you the ones who saved Kachina and brought her back? No wonder you hit it off with Granny Sitlali. She wouldn't spend time with just anybody, you know. I don't even remember the last time I saw her with a new friend.
Wait, so you call her Granny too?
Well, given our ages, it'd probably be more accurate for me to call her my great-great-granny. She's one of the most famous people at the Masters of the Nightwind. Most days, hardly anyone even dares talk to her.
Huh? Gossiping about me right in front of my face now, are you, Chonka?
Oh, please, Granny, I wouldn't dare. I'm just beyond happy to see you bring over some new friends. After all, any friends of our regulars are sure to be great customers too.
All right, that's enough. Go on now. I'm sure the other customers would like to talk to you as well. There's no need to keep staring at me. I promise I'll keep my alcohol down until I leave.
Well then, you have my thanks.
बढ़िया. After Janka leaves Sitlali down, few more glasses being started, blankly into space from her chin. इतना पी लिया उसने. You start wondering whether she actually drunk or working through some complex problem in her head. अरे रिएक्शन, अरे क्या शक्ल बनाई है एनीमे एकदम. एक अरे भाई बिल्कुल एनीमे करेक्ट.
Who's that?
चढ़ेगी. प्यारी कैरेक्टर है ये.
Some doll calling me by my first name. Ooh. Let me guess. You want to test your skills against Granny Eatsley, don't ya?
Are you still with us, Sitlali? You're kinda talking to no one.
You chumps come around here, picking fights with me? Well, you know what happens next. You lose, and then run off home to tell everyone about how I'm this big scary bully. It's always the same story. You brats start it, I finish it, and then I end up with the reputation of being some kind of terrible monster among the shamans. I mean, come on. Monster? Me? Really? What did I do to deserve that?
Granny Seat Lolly, you're not a monster at all.
Exactly. And while we're at it, I'm not some lazy slacker either. Between meditation, advising the chief, and speaking with the Wyab, I actually have a pretty packed schedule, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I have to mentor all the new kids. Hey,
मेरी रिक्शा मैं हूँ me. Guess I'm a new kid.
Don't play dumb. Didn't I teach you how to find phlogiston? You see? I know my stuff. I'm a good teacher. You tell him.
Absolutely.
That's more like it. About dang time someone showed me a little respect. Yeah, Granny's a hard worker, all right. You can always rely on old Granny.
ऐसे घर उठा के गले थे.
Did she just fall asleep with her eyes open? Oh, jeez.
Behind this pitch-black curtain, a chapter of hatred reveals itself. Behind the smoke, the lingering smoke.
She's meditating again.
Achha.
She does this whenever she's had a few too many drinks. Her mind's actually racing at this point. It's quite the opposite of sleep.
क्या बात?
Is this another specialty of the Masters of the Nightwind?
No, I'd say it's an ability that's unique to Citlali herself. While she can easily pick up everyone else's skills and tricks, few have been able to master hers.
Warning, warning. Red, the color of danger, has now arisen within that pair of eyes. Huh?
क्या हो गया?
Traveler? Paimon?
उतर भी कितनी जल्दी?
What's wrong?
I'm gonna hurl.
Hang on, just keep it in.
Phew. Okay, it's passed. That was a close one.
You had Paimon worried. Paimon really thought you were about to barf all over the table just now.
How embarrassing. I'm sorry you had to see me like that. That's never happened before, I swear. I've never thrown up. Not once.
We didn't ask about it.
Are you feeling okay? Want to take a quick walk and get some fresh air?
There's so much that I want to say, but I can't.
Why not? Of course you can. Just say whatever's on your mind.
Please, Paimon. It's not as simple as you think. We've only known each other for a few days, right? What would you think of me if I were to start dumping all of my complaints on you after we've only just met?
Oh, Paimon gets it. You're hoping that we wouldn't think less of you no matter what you're about to say.
No, that wasn't my point at all! Seriously, don't you youngsters know anything about shame? I'm talking about shame! I've lived all these years and still can't get rid of it! Surely, you know the feeling too?
Actually, about that.
Should we just tell her?
Huh? Tell me what?
Yeah, this is as good a time as any.
Alright, Citlali. Listen carefully and try not to get too upset. You describe the events that took place during the rescue and objectively, fairly, and impractically as possible. Citlali shared some of her sense with you through a spell, allowing you to temporarily hear her thoughts.
So, you heard my...
It's okay, Citlali. You had every right to complain about those things.
I can't take it anymore! Why do these things happen to me? Hearing me mumble under my breath is one thing, but hearing what I mumble in my own head? That's too much! It's just like when you're rolling on the floor in your pajamas, but you forget to lock the door, and someone bursts in to deliver cabbages and sees the whole thing!
So that, happens to you a lot.
It happens to people in general, okay? Doesn't matter if you're 200 years old or 1,000 years old. Everyone rolls around in their pajamas sometimes. I was just picking something generic.
Are you okay? You look dejected.
Take a walk with me. I have things to share with you.
फिर चढ़ गई क्या?
She's completely given up. Like those criminals who just confess everything and accept their fate.
We should follow her, just to make sure she doesn't go anything weird, do anything weird to be. लेंगे भाई, देख लेंगे सिर्फ. अरे क्या होगा? चलो. ऐसे ही चल लेता हूँ यार. रास्ता किधर है? रास्ता ऊपर ही चढ़ते हैं.
Let's ride.
Need a surfboard? Off we go. Need a surfboard? Ad Astra Abyssal. Thank you for completing today.
रिवॉर्ड ले ले भाई.
Carving waves.
बस और जाता हूँ ना मैं कोनों में.
Well, great view, right? I love coming here by myself.
बढ़िया अच्छा भी है.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you for bringing us here.
You're making me want to cry.
Oh no, what do we do? Please don't cry.
I was an expression, okay? A figure of speech. I'm just... embarrassed. Here you are thanking me. Even after you helped me all this time. Let's just have a casual conversation. It's easiest that way.
Really? You don't seem like the kind of person who keeps things casual.
Well, I guess I used to be more of a stickler for the rules. And you're right. I don't usually open up to the people of my tribe like this. I'm just an eccentric old hag to them. That story's been passed down so long. It might as well be true.
But you're just a regular person.
The kids of my tribe would have a heart attack if they heard you say that. Granny Eatsley is a powerful figure. Be careful around her. That's what they'd say.
Well, you are powerful. Are they afraid of you?
Some are. Others are mad I always come out on top. A few decades like that. And people stop knowing how to deal with you. What about you? Are you scared of me?
We don't find you scary at all.
हाँ बिल्कुल भी नहीं. तुम तो क्या बोलूं मतलब प्यारी सी ग्रैनी और उम्र बड़ी है, हाइट छोटी है, ठीक हो, प्यारी हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. All good.
That's because you're not from my tribe. You don't know how many delusions of grandeur I've destroyed just by existing. I make people realize that no matter how hard they work, they'll never become a living legend like me. Oh, not to brag or anything. Maybe it's hard to believe. Just pretend I never said anything.
We believe you. Shilonen has full faith in your abilities, and Auroran didn't seem scared of you. He thinks of you as his granny, right?
Yes, but Auroran's a special case. Mawika already told you about her plan. And you've given so much help to Auroran and me. You deserve to learn the full truth. Auroran's not like other people. As I mentioned, he was abandoned as a child. The reason being, his soul is incomplete. The Masters of the Nightwind view this as a bad omen, capable of bringing about illness and misfortune. No one knows who his parents were. He was just left on a rock in the wilderness. It's a miracle he wasn't devoured by some wild beast. The Masters of the Nightwind believe they can see human souls. And in Auroran's incomplete soul, they saw a possibility for Natlan. A possibility to turn Auroran into a vessel for lost souls. The ceremony would allow lost souls to gather within him. Auroran would then be sent to the Night Kingdom to return the souls to their rightful place, strengthening the ley lines and completing the ceremony.
Wait, that doesn't sound right.
Sending a living person to the Night Kingdom? Wouldn't that just kill him?
Now you see the problem. When damage occurs to the Night Kingdom, the souls held within disperse and remain adrift, unable to find a way back to the ley lines. This loss of souls damages the Night Kingdom even further. The ceremony can send back countless souls at once, which would benefit the Night Kingdom and the souls themselves. Of course, the vessel, Auroran, would be sacrificed in the process. I wasn't surprised the chief at the time came up with the plan. The ley lines were already in a terrible state. A suitable candidate for the ceremony appears, and now you have the chance to make things better. Of course you're going to take it. When the chief asked for my opinion, I didn't give my approval, but I didn't object either. So they went ahead with the ceremony. It failed, and Auroran escaped with his life. Pathetic, isn't it? By not objecting, I basically gave them the go-ahead. Maybe they didn't have my explicit approval, but it's not like I did the right thing. If the ceremony was successful, Auroran would probably be dead. Of course, in my tribe, death is rarely something to fear. But what kind of message would we be sending by sentencing a newborn to death? By using a human life as a tool? It's not right. So, when I learned the ceremony had failed, I was ashamed by my inaction, and absolutely relieved by the result. The plan was never a secret. Or, I guess I should say, there was no point to keeping it a secret. A simple investigation from Auroran would reveal everything. Everyone thought he would be happy he survived. And he never really said anything to the contrary. But just as I was about to put all of it behind me, he asks this question. Would Natlan have been saved if the ceremony succeeded?
Wait, but it's not his fault.
He knows that, but he still feels guilty. Auroran has a strong ability to perceive souls, more than any of us. He understands just how dire the situation with ley lines has become. Maybe he chose to work with the Fatui because he still thinks he owes a debt to Natlan.
I can only imagine what they told him.
Traveler, didn't the captain say he found a way to solve the crisis? Maybe that's what brought Auroran into this. Anyway, we can't just let things go on like this. We have to convince him to come back!
Yeah, that's true. Next step.
You don't look
Next
so
step.
good, Sweet Lolly. Maybe you should head back and get some sleep.
Probably drank too much. It's okay. The fresh air is doing me good.
Okay.
Forget that. I need to go home. I hit it a little too hard.
Don't worry, you don't have to do anything to this alone.
You've helped me so much already. How do I even begin to thank you?
Hey, we're friends, aren't we? Besides, you already said you owe us a favor, so you don't need to worry about us.
Good point. Well, I'll go home and get some sleep. We can figure out our next move in the morning. Friends. I like the sound of that.
बढ़िया भाई.
Auroran's probably back with the captain, don't you think?
Yeah, we should tell the Pyro Archon what we learned.
You mean about the backup plan? Do you really believe what the captain told us?
She needs to know, regardless. We should just be upfront with her.
Yeah, you're right. We should just go to her directly. But she's probably asleep. We can find her first thing in the morning. For now, let's... go to bed.
बढ़िया बढ़िया. गाइस, आज के लिए सिर्फ इतना ही रखते हैं. वैसे भी बहुत लंबी स्ट्रीम हो गई है. आज के लिए इतना ही. कल करेंगे वापस से स्ट्रीम. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. ठीक है, मिलते हैं हम आपको कल.
You can only do so much on your own, but with a